we went out glassing for deer in the evening, and like it was just a fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then obviously anyone with Johnny, but
right, Johnny's like the drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. He's like, "Who's your favorite uncle?
Come on, Beau. Tell him, Beau. Tell him about that one time." The HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Hoyt.
Should be no surprise to anyone listening to this that back with Hoyt another season. I'm actually going to be shooting the AX2 aluminum this year.
You traitor.
But you're still going RX9.
Yeah, blacked
carbon,
out as always.
Blacked out. Big surprise for
80
everyone.
pounds. Big surprise. Yeah.
But seriously, man, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Every year it seems like we get a new Hoyt bow in our hands, and they're always a step above the last and just a step above everybody else.
Yeah, they're so consistent, man. Just their processes get better, every year. And we've really been excited about, as we've grown with Hoyt, we've brought some others in with us. We just feel like the Hoyt family is growing, like the community, and we're really excited about the people that are involved, excited to be a part of that company. And it's really awesome.
So for anyone that's excited about Hoyt like Jared and I are, you can use the code HUNTR, HUNTR, on Hoyt.com.
Get serious, get Hoyt.
And we're back.
Hey,
HUNTR Podcast, episode 282.
As Jared continues to keep you semi in line.
Yeah. Nick from afar, Jared from close.
I told you I shouldn't sip that peach bourbon, otherwise I'll trip over all this. But before we get going, thank you guys for being here. Whether you're on
He's
YouTube,
cut off.
whether on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, appreciate you guys listening. That's where we drop these episodes every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. If you've written us on Instagram, DM, or the website, those are the two that we check the most frequently. We have some merch on our website. You can't see it, but I got
a black one. Oh, there it is.
Ooh, it looks nice.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Antler Evolution tee.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can check that out. And you can also use code HUNTR, HUNTR, on any of our partners' website for some sort of a discount.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, here we go.
Here we go.
That bourbon it'll settle in on me.
It'll hit.
We'll square it out. So
another in studio podcast. Johnny Stewart, Beau Martonik. Welcome.
Beau and Johnny.
Yeah, man.
Welcome back. Thanks, guys. I am struggling right now looking at you with that jacket on because it looks extremely
I want your
warm.
thoughts. Warm.
And you see, you said it was
Flattering.
cold. So I was getting out of my truck, and he's like, "Hey, it's it's a little
I was
cold
getting a
in there."
chill in here.
And I'm
That's
like,
what he said.
I better
It's
grab
getting
my
chilly in
jacket.
here.
I'm like, I'm hot, and I'm
Yeah.
in a t-shirt.
You got
how
that
do you feel now?
Comfortable.
comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable.
Yeah.
I was comfortable all morning, and then I haven't eaten anything.
No calories to burn.
Yeah, so
That's
I wonder
it.
if
I
I'm
got
like,
bad circulation.
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty good
possible.
usually.
He usually is sitting in a box blind.
Yeah.
That's pretty good usually. That was Dad that just called me. He's running out to the box blinder tonight, but
Oh, yeah, tonight.
mhm.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, we figured we were due for a Pennsylvania roundtable. We usually, I don't remember when we did the last one. Was that October?
It's probably this time last year.
Probably.
I don't think we were here in October.
I think we were, but it might have been 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Ooh, time goes.
No. That last one was in like February.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
That you guys
Damn.
were here together in February?
Yeah.
Really?
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a
That's not
springtime.
ringing a
It
bell
was
at all.
springtime.
Springtime.
Because when you told me the 16th, I'm like, is he talking October? It's like prime time. Like it registered in my head. Like,
Yeah.
like, all right,
What is he
whatever.
talking
What
about?
do you think? We just quit working.
You guys
I
are
know.
full time, full bore.
I know, like all week I kept looking at the weather. I was like, I'm not going to say anything.
I'm not gonna
'cause
pull the plug.
I know what it's like to be in.
You could have. We would have
Okay,
pivoted.
pull the
That's why I
plug.
called you yesterday. We are still going to shoot one Saturday. He and I are going to come in and just not.
yeah.
Just
We gotta
get
get ahead.
ahead of it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we started looking at the forecast. Like next week, we're like, oh.
Get it
Yeah,
out of
that-
the way
that-
now because everything is going to get better. Right now,
Yeah.
even though the 16th is bad, but I mean, it's not, but with 70 degrees and that's what Beau said. Yeah, maybe Saturday. Let's just get this done.
Unless you're
Yeah.
Beau Martonik, then you just punch tags
He's
whenever
like,
you
yeah,
go.
I got a podcast to do. Let's just shoot one.
Let me just shoot one.
How
I'll
about
be
that
done
timing,
with it.
man? That couldn't have worked out any better.
Oh my gosh, I know it couldn't have. And actually, I'm well ahead on my podcast. Like I have all of them recorded out through mid-November at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than like
How many are you dropping? Like you do
one a week.
one a week.
Yeah, one a week, and sometimes there'll be a bonus one.
That's
like,
a lot. So
yeah.
you got what, 6 or 7 in the hopper then?
Yeah, and I've had
Holy
them
balls.
recorded since August. Yeah, I've been
Damn.
that far ahead. Like
Oh, you just record them way in advance.
yeah,
Oh.
depending, and I will drop them like out of order, like depending on the seasonality.
Wow.
of when
We haven't gotten over that hump yet. That's always been a sticking point.
Yeah, I
for
was
me.
like, we're too ahead. Huh?
Yeah, that's what we're really doing.
Good.
Well, yeah, I have someone editing my podcast now, which like helped.
Oh, that's a ton of time.
Much. So I was like, all right, I can get ahead and then just like
Stack them up.
Yep, just keep it in. Just have like a board where I can move everything around and adjust it and look and like, all right, this episode fits for this time of year. We talked about this a little more, so I'll change things up, and that's how I've been doing it this year. I don't know. It's seemingly working pretty good so far.
How many have you done? What are you up to?
450 something, 460.
Damn.
That's crazy. Have you been doing it that much longer than us? Is that why?
I think so.
2018.
Yeah. 2 years, 3
we started
years.
2020, right?
21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, I guess so. And you've been doing one a week all along.
Yeah, I've never missed a week.
Never missed.
Yep.
That's serious, Bo.
That
That is good.
Thanks. Buddy.
Yeah, yeah. The slow clap.
I thought it deserves something there.
Yeah, it does. That's serious, man. So that's like 7 years.
Yeah. So it was July of 2018, July 1st when I released the first episode
Damn.
Of 2018.
of 2018.
1920.
Do you have any favorites, Bo?
Maybe
Like
8 years.
like anything?
You're not Johnny
Podcast?
Stewart.
Honestly, like
That's the
you've
way
done
he
that
asked
many.
the
Was there
question.
something
Got any
you-
favorites? Drinking his beer over
what's
there.
your like, or
Who's your favorite?
Think about it. I'll tell you a couple I recorded recently that were like ones I really enjoyed. The one I did with Lee Lakoski was awesome. Doing that with him in person was a really great interview. He was easy to do. And the other one actually just came out this week as the time of recording this was Alan Altizer.
Alter? Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been bow hunting for over 50 years.
Is that the guy that used the towel to do the thermals?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and he's just an absolute killer for a lot of years, and just like the older men have such a good way at telling stories. Like I could listen to it forever, and
They also have better woodsmanship.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they had to do.
Yeah, it's great, and just listening to little things that he does with string on the end of his arrow to see how the wind's doing, to let the buck get, make sure he can't get past this point because the wind's gonna hit him, and just doing little things that are awesome. And I enjoyed that. And like I spent the day with him, and we went out glassing for deer in the evening, and like it was just a fun episode
that's cool.
to record. And then obviously anyone with Johnny, but
Right. Johnny's like the drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. He's like,
your
who's your favorite
favorite?
uncle? Who is
Come
it?
on, Bo. Tell him, Bo. Tell him about that one time.
You answered that wrong, Bo. The questions with who was your favorite?
yeah, I know.
I'll let it slide.
Just this time.
Yeah,
Well, you did punch a tag, though.
I did.
You punched a couple tags.
Yeah.
Couple?
Yeah, two.
More? So 2 so far.
2, yeah.
Moose?
and a whitetail.
Okay.
So, yeah. It was funny. We were all literally texting in the tree yesterday, and
Well, we weren't in the tree.
well,
You were in the tree.
I was in the tree, and I was texting you guys.
I was tearing up a sewer line. That's gonna be a nightmare. By the
not
way.
from a toilet,
Not-
actually tearing one up.
not looking good. Oh yeah, no, actually tearing one up. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's straight up Johnny's out.
yeah,
Yeah,
Johnny.
it is.
We'll catch up on it.
Yeah, we'll have to talk.
I found out, Johnny, that yesterday and then we'll get to the deer story. Our building, the entire sewer line is like rotted out.
Oh man,
It's
I'll give you a
old.
good price.
I'll hear your price.
Give me a couple more beers.
I don't need it immediate, but yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't even know the price yet, but
he's not gonna get to it till February.
we don't open until March, so
Oh,
that's fine.
good. 'Cause
He
you
doesn't
don't-
want it done until December or
You don't want a
January anyways.
November price.
No.
You won't be able to afford it.
I do from my non-hunting plumber who's currently working on it. But yeah, I got to figure out how to be in the tree while he's working on that. Is kind of the sticking point. Anyways, sorry about that.
Yeah. But yeah, we were texting yesterday talking about the time of the podcast and everything, and I'm like, all right, I'll just we'll do it tomorrow, and then I started telling you guys about seeing deer and everything, and then next thing you know, I'm sending you a picture of blood, and
It happened fast. It escalated quickly.
Well, I mean, what made you go out yesterday evening? Because it wasn't super cool, right? It was mid-60s?
No, up there it was 52.
Oh, holy shit!
So
Up in the north part.
So to give you a little bit of a background on that, that spot was, I have history in there, but I didn't hunt it much because there's quite a bit of pressure, but it's kind of a secluded patch of oaks where there's not many oaks around there. But this year everything was loaded, and I happened to have a camera that was out for running on a solar panel for multiple years, just keeping tabs. I haven't had anything good in there in a while, at least I thought. And I got like a blurry picture of a buck in the summertime. I was like, man, that thing looks tall, and I need to look at that more. And then I got another picture of him. I was like, that's a big deer. But it was like twice during the summer, and I was like, I got to see where he's coming from. So before I went on the moose hunt, I went in there, started checking oak trees, looking at sign, looking at the maps, and really mapping out everybody else's tree stands that they had there too, to figure out where he probably wasn't going to be at. And hung 2 cameras. I put one in the middle of like where all the people were at, and because there was sign there, so I knew I'd get inventory. And then another one on the edge of where I thought they might be bedding, because it was a big briar thicket. So you're thinking like of a big like select cut that was going through our shelterwood cut.
Yep.
And it just grows differently. So some that was open and not much that was undergrowth wasn't taking, but this south slope had a ton of briars, and I was like, that offers good security. They still want to be close to the food, even though they have all this pressure. This is what was going through my mind, at least. And I picked up that really big deer right away with putting the camera next to that bedding spot, and I got him.
Were you on a scrape or something, or
yeah,
you
scrape?
Were?
Yep, it was on a scrape. There near some red oaks that.
Tell them about the scrape, Johnny.
So that's where I had the camera at, and I got him. And while I was moose hunting, this is on a cell cam, and I got a picture. And I told those guys while I was up there, I saw the cold front coming. I was like, he's gonna show up.
He's gonna do it.
And he showed up right at last light, and I was like, man. I looked at that, and it was like, all right, northwest wind. It was about 52 degrees or so. And I saw the weather for this week, and I was like, exact same conditions, almost to the exact same temp, the wind, everything. I was like, I'm gonna go in there and hunt it. And I hadn't hunted at all since I'd been back from the moose hunt, been catching up on work, and really wasn't super jazzed to get out until the weather. I was like, I'm gonna wait until the weather's right and go in. And
it's been tough. I mean, if there is oaks in an area, like we just talked earlier, they rain down acorns early. Like there were so many of those oak spots that just all of the acorns are already off the trees and on the ground, you know, and that really, it seemed like in the big woods for a while there, threw off the cameras. Like it, you know, I don't know if it was just early and so many at that time. And also at the same time, we went from like an extreme drought to finally getting some rain too. So you had a couple of those things working against, but it was just, there was that slow period there at the beginning of the season where it was like, just didn't seem like much was happening.
Yeah. And honestly, like since I had him on camera a week ago, even other bucks, I didn't have much activity on my cameras. It was just going off of like, they didn't leave, and I'm just going to go in and feel it out and figure it out and like hunt my way in. And I got a way later start yesterday than I planned on.
Was that because of us?
No. I was working and just going through things, and I realized I didn't have my hunting gear together, and it was still barely unpacked from moose hunting. So I'm like throwing things in, trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. And I was just like kind of all over the place. And I get out there, and I was like, all right, just take your time. And I knew, I shouldn't say I knew, but I figured that they'd be bedded close. So I had to, I whenever I think of that, I treat like walking in, or even if I'm doing a stalk, like, this is the last one you ever have to do, how would you do it? So that's how I was walking in. And there's a bunch of tops down, which are loud. So I just slowly was going in. And I actually bumped a doe that was bedded like right in the main like open oaks there. And I was like, whatever. So I kept going in, creeping in, and I started seeing sign. I mean, nice rubs, a hemlock that was shredded. And then I saw one of my biggest indicators that when I see beech trees that are, you know, quarter size or a little bit smaller, even dime size, that are just broke off, it's like, all right, a big buck probably did that. And so I was seeing all that, and I'm like, all right. As I looked on my map, and I was like, all right, my camera is like 40 yards up this way. I said, I'm gonna push this a little bit more. And I looked to my left, and I saw this other tree. I was like, I bet that's the spot I want to be in. But I was like, I just had that sense of, I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna go too far and something might happen. So I just crept up to this one cherry tree, which I hate climbing cherry trees because they're so loud. But that's all I had available that had cover behind it. So I just took my time. I mean, it took me 40 minutes to get up the tree, but I just did it really slow and quiet. And while I'm hanging my platform, a 3-year-old 8-point came in right to 10 yards, and then he got downwind of me and ran back. And that's what I sent you guys the video I took on my phone. And I was planning on like self-film, and every time I say I'm going to do that, it's never going to happen. And I was like, you know what? Screw this camera gear. Like, there's deer already here.
Yeah.
I can't worry about that. And, so I'm watching that, and then all of a sudden, the way I walked in, all of a sudden there's a spike back there feeding under the big red oak. And the thing I forgot to mention was the whole way walking in, as I was listening, I wasn't hearing acorns dropping, but there's 2 trees near that spot were dropping, and you could hear them raining down. I was like, everything just felt right.
Yep.
And when I climbed up in that, I ended up getting the rest of the way up in the tree, and the spike was behind me, and then that 8-point that spooked out, I could see him again out in front, and he was with a doe just feeding again. I was like, man, I guess I didn't bump him that bad. I don't know. I don't know if he caught my ground scent or whatever it was, but he wasn't spooked terribly bad. And then this is where the story gets funny. Is the one spike got pretty close behind me. He's straight downwind. I mean, kind of dumb. So I'm gonna film him on my phone. I went like this, and I hear, whew, whew. I'm like, son of a bitch. I turn around and I look to this side now, where I thought the deer would be originally coming out of, and there's another spike, and he's looking. He's got me pegged, and so I'm just like keeping my head up against the tree, not moving. He's staring at me. And then I hear like a deep snort, and I'm like, oh no. I was like, that's a big buck. And I just slowly kind of turned my head, and that deer I ended up shooting staring right at me. And I'm like, all right, just don't move. So I just didn't move. And I'm side-eyeing him, and 10, 15 minutes goes by, and we're just.
And you think it's the buck that.
And I think it's the buck that I'm in there for, because I could see his beams almost coming. They almost touch in the center. So I was like. And then I see him. He started getting comfortable because I just wasn't moving. I was concealed pretty good in that tree. I had a maple tree with red leaves like right at the top of my canopy.
But
almost
he
like
blew at you already.
He did one snort. Yep,
and was looking right at you.
Was looking right at me. This is a lot of luck.
How far was he?
47 yards at this point.
Is your wind?
Wind was good.
Okay.
Because I don't know if he saw me. Oh, he had to have saw me because he was looking at me. But
he may have saw that spike do something.
Yeah, and then was like trying to figure out, but maybe couldn't see me moving. Whatever it was, he couldn't figure it out. And then eventually I just saw his tail flicker. I'm like, all right. And
relaxed again.
He turns his head to, they itch, the head with it. And I'm like, my bow. So I was in a saddle facing this way. He's behind me. Normally in a saddle, I have my bow on the left side because that makes it easier for a right-handed shooter. Well, the tree I picked was not ideal, and there was another cherry right here, and I would have sandwiched my bow, so I had it on my right side. So when he turned, I made one big movement, and I was like, I got to do it quick and just don't hit anything off the tree. So I grabbed my bow, lifted it over my bridge, turned around, and then he's still itching himself. I was like, man, I got lucky.
That's a big movement.
Yeah, big movement. And he turns and he looks again. He's just staring. Another 5-10 minutes goes by, but at this point, I can get to my rangefinder, and I'm just moving it behind my bow, and that's where I got his yardage, and I looked at his likely travel patterns out of there, hit a couple, and the one was like 42 to 44 yards, and eventually he starts to just work that direction, and I had like a 10-foot window before he'd go back in the brush and he'd be out of anything. And the way my sight's set up, so I have like a triple pin dialed, so I keep it set at 20. The second pin just happens to be 34 yards, depending on my bow, and 50 on the bottom. So I was like, all right, if I put the 50 basically down on his belly and, pin gap that 34 and that 50. And I've run into the problem before of with pin gapping, and this whole summer I've been practicing it, and I felt real good. I was like, man, this is...
It's not easy. I mean, that's a 16-yard gap.
No, it's not.
But how far was he?
43 yards.
Okay. So you wanted to be like what, right in the middle?
Yeah, right in the middle, pretty much. But I also knew that he was somewhat alert, so I was holding just a little bit lower than
Thinking he's dropping.
thinking that he might drop. And when I go to draw my bow back, I hit my elbow off of that tree on like at 3/4 draw, and I'm like, and I just I hit it back, and he's like, stops and looks at that point. And I was like, all right, he's gonna drop. So I held just even a little bit lower, and I shot, and he whirled and took off. And
You said it felt good.
it felt great, but I was like, I don't know what happened. And he ran, and
So your knock didn't go off?
I thought it didn't. It did go off, but I think Beau's adrenaline-filled brain didn't see it. Like I kept thinking I saw the arrow go, and I thought I missed him low, but I don't know where that came from.
What time is this?
6:30.
So you still have quite a bit of daylight after this?
Yeah, a good 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
10:15.
So it was. So I hear him run, and then the two spikes run with him. And I hear, and there's tops down in this clear cut. So crashing is hard to identify, but I heard a real loud crash. And I was like, okay, that's good. But I'm like,
I like that.
But
I like
I've
that.
been in the position before of getting overconfident, and I'm like, nope, not getting confident. And then about a minute and a half goes by, and I hear another loud crash in the same spot. I was like, that's good. But still, I was like,
still don't know.
I don't want to tell anybody. I don't know.
What about us? We're on the sex chain. Just tell us.
I just was like, I've been in the position years ago from my younger age when I'd say, oh, I killed a deer, and I go and I find I'm clean
miss.
So I don't tell anybody until either I'll tell it. I have no problem talking about misses or anything, but I won't.
You need to know what happened.
Yeah, I need to know what happened. And so I waited to just before dark, climb down to go look for my arrow, but I couldn't see the knock, and that was like worrying me. And I'm like, man, I've never not had a pass through.
Well, that's what you
whitetail.
texted us. You were like, I just don't know what happened with my arrow. You're like, I'm not, like it felt good, but I can't find my arrow. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah. So I go up, and I was like, I need to see if there's just any blood. And I'd called my dad, my brother, and they were on their way at that point. And so I walk just 5 yards from the shot, and I start seeing blood already. And I'm like, that's pretty good. Typically, so I'm using a sizable fixed blade, but typically it takes them a little bit to
just open up.
What are you shooting?
Iron will wide.
Okay.
So it's like an 1 3/8 cut. So it's a big fixed blade. So I walk over and see the little bit of blood, and then I was like, I'm just gonna slowly creep to see if there's any more. And the blood looked good, but it did have a little bit of a runniness to it, and that concerned me a little bit, of like maybe flesh or so. But I was like
I didn't muscle blood.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't see any sign of gut, so I don't see a reason not to push a little bit to see more. So I walked another, what I thought was like 30 yards, but when I looked at my pins, I only went 10 yards, and it was starting to spray out there. And so I was like, okay, that's pretty good. So I just, my dad, my brother came in, and he was laying 60 yards.
Damn. So that was him piling up.
That was him piling up. Yeah. And
Did you find the arrow?
Yeah. So
Jared missed this pre-podcast, so it's a surprise for him.
Oh yeah. So the arrow was all the way in him lengthwise. So that deer, when I shot
him up the ass.
No. I shot him frontal. So he spun into it. When he ran, he spun like.
I never do that.
Yeah. No. That's
he
what
turned towards you?
He turned towards me.
Okay.
He turned like this.
He wheeled, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that happen?
I've only seen it with
Kansas
elk.
buck. That one I shot on the ground. Remember the 3-year-old back here? I shot him. He wheeled towards me, and I hit him here and in.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. I can't come up with an explanation.
So what, full circle and then run away from you?
No. So like, he's facing left, and out there in front of me, he spun towards me. So he's only turning a little bit, and which I mean, good. But I hit him there, and then he went back the way he came.
He did like a 180.
Yeah, 180.
That's crazy.
He's like,
so he did turn all the way around.
Rips his chest open.
Yeah, a 180. Yeah, he went back the way that he came, but
that's a small target too when he wheels.
And it was perfect, which is luck. Yeah, like I'm not gonna sit here
like
and
just
say
perfect
that. Straight through, went the
Wow.
whole way through, took out the heart, the lungs, and the guts. Like,
Holy balls.
when
It didn't come out. It was in him. Like
it poked out in
His
front
butthole.
of the. No, actually, it must have deflected somewhere in there in front of the hind quarter on the same side.
like on the pelvic
I
bone or
gotcha.
something?
Yeah, it deflected there because
Cool.
there was guts plugging that exit hole.
Wow.
But the front was wide open and it went through there. But man, I was just like,
You shoot a heavy arrow?
no, I'm a moderate 450.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, 465 I think is actually
That's a lot of penetration.
That's good weight.
Yeah,
For
F-
70
F-
pounds, right?
At
Yeah.
40 some yards, though, that's a lot of
You're
penetration.
probably not right dead on the front, probably off the brisket a little.
yeah, maybe yeah.
Like not splitting the sternum.
No,
basically.
just like
Yeah.
just off to the one side, but like
Not a lot there to stop it either. If it's going in
No.
front of that front shoulder, it's just all.
But dude, that's a tight window.
it's a tight window, and that is not. I was like I said, I wasn't trying that shot.
Yeah.
That wasn't the intention on it. I've never seen them do that. I've seen them duck low, so that's why I held
Sure.
a little
Did
bit
he
low.
duck?
I mean, I don't. It's hard to. It's
You don't
hard
know.
to know.
You held for a duck though. You held.
Yeah,
low?
I
You
held.
did.
Yeah, so he must. I mean, it hit perfect up and down. Just on the wrong. part of
Worked
the
out,
body.
huh?
Worked out, huh?
So like I said, I that's where there was definitely some luck that came into it there. But
But not the deer you thought it was either.
no. So and I walked up, but I was like not even
Yeah.
a slight bit disappointed because that deer is awesome.
Yeah.
I would have shot him if I knew it was him. You know?
Did you have that deer on camera in there?
So I just found one photo of him at 2:00 in the morning, and it was and he did not look nearly as impressive as he is in person on camera. And my
Can I
camera,
see a picture of the one you thought it was?
And nighttime pictures don't do
yeah,
any
yeah,
justice.
I can't show it on the camera.
That's
here,
fine.
But yeah, I can
That's
show
fine.
you it.
For me.
Just a big body deer then? Like
Yeah.
kind of dwarfed as the rest of them?
I think he's I think he's a 5-year-old deer. I mean, he's a
The one that you
one-
ended up
the
shooting.
one that I ended up killing. Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it from his behavior of just kind of like how he was acting with those spikes around him and stuff.
This is the one you thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tank. He's cool.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's probably a full 20 inches bigger than he was, but it's I didn't know what to say, like coming up to like hunting literally for an hour and a half in the Pennsylvania season, something that normally
Have you
takes,
done that before?
2021 I killed opening day.
Yeah, I remember that
yeah,
one.
in the morning. But most of the season, it's either like I feel like it's like this with me on most hunts. I either kill right off the bat or it
it's a
takes me to
grind.
the very end.
Yeah.
There's usually no middle ground
Yep.
in that. So, but I was so thankful for that. Like that deer was awesome. And this time of year, they have such a beautiful coat on them.
Yeah, and they're really just starting to fill themselves
yeah,
out.
just he had so much fat on him.
That's what I
and
was going to ask. I mean, was he loaded up?
Oh yeah, he was just loaded up.
That's
with
all
fat.
that acorn crop this year so far.
Yep.
It's crazy, like that area, because I mean, obviously that other buck was probably in there somewhere too. But it's wild when you find those food sources like that at this time of year. Just how many bucks can pack into an area like that, and like you know, and part of it is because they're still tolerating each other. They don't
Yep.
like
Yep.
it, but like they're tolerating
you're
it.
right. Yep.
You know, the hierarchy is still juggling a bit, basically.
Yeah, and that right before the one, it's not really that much of an important part, but I think what also calmed him down when he was kind of looking my way is that the spikes just went back to normal.
Yeah, they just didn't
And
care.
The one walked around like the backside of him and kind of sniffed his
Probably
ass.
distracted
and he's
him.
just like,
That's
just
all
get
right.
away from me, you know. And he
Yeah.
just started kind of moving along there again. And like I said, there were so many stars that had to align for that to work out the way it was. Another thing was I was planning a different access into there that was much longer. I thought was safer, but at the last second when I was driving, I was like, I didn't account for the thermals. I'm coming from that bottom. And I said, if they're anywhere on that hillside where I think, I was like, it's just going to blow
Pull
up
right
there.
up there.
And I'm like, I can't do that. So I was like, all right. And so I went a different route, which was more risky to exit, which was my concern. But I guess you just have to shoot them before you exit.
That's it, man. You just got to make sure you're tagged out before you leave the woods. That's all it takes.
Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. I don't know what to say about it, but
Well, sometimes it's not by random chance, right? I mean, that you put the homework in, you've got history with the spot, even though the intel you got, even though it wasn't the same deer leading up to it from a weather condition front, and, probably even more so, not that you would have changed anything, but walking in there and hearing those red oaks dropping when nothing else is, it's like, that's money.
Seeing the rub snapped and and just everything just seemed to click, and it was like, all right, don't overthink anything, just get in a tree. And I don't know what it was. I mean, I know what it was. I was looking at the weather and everything, and I love I've never killed one in the middle of October before, around this time frame. I've had opportunities, but my cameras have always showed me that you get cold weather during this time, that it can be really, really good if you're tight to that bedding. And on the way there, it's funny, my grandpa had called me, and I told him, I said, I think I'm gonna kill a big buck tonight.
He's like, sure, Beau, sure.
Yeah. And he always says to me, he's like, you're gonna, and he's like, what? Every time I tell you, you do. And I was like, all right. And I just had a really good feeling. And and my girlfriend even said to me, she's like, yeah, you told me before you left that you thought you were going to be tagged out tonight. And I was not saying that from a cocky standpoint. I just had a feeling like that was just, that just felt good.
Dude, there are days like that though. And even if they don't work out, I had one, I want to say it might've been an opening week here last year. And I scouted this spot, and I had two really good bucks. One I just showed you here earlier in the spot, and they were daylighting in the morning. And it was one of those ones where just the way that the wind was about to change with this front blowing through and how the thermals were going to go, I was like, I can get away and hunt this place in the morning. And dude, I got up this hill far from everyone. I hung the stand, everything was perfect. I had bucks. I could hear them just light grunting around me in the morning. And I'm like, I'm going to kill them today. And even if it doesn't work out, I think I saw 7 or 8 bucks that day and 10 does or whatever. I'm like, man, there are just certain days that the woods are on fire, and you feel it. You can tell.
It's just instincts all the time.
That's it.
That we've put in the woods 20 years or whatever. Yeah. Everything comes together, and you don't even really know everything that's coming together, but it just feels your instincts kick in.
And when you have so many things that are going in your favor, even when some things go a little bit haywire, you still got more balls in your basket there.
I had one hunt this year. I went in below these oaks, and the thermals were pulling, and I had the buck I showed you. He was, I think, in them oaks. I didn't get a picture of him, but that was the only hunt this year that I felt like it was 2 hours before dark, and I was just so in tune with this could happen. He's here. Mm-hmm. I mean, the rest of my hunts are just kind of you're just getting out to hunt. You're not really into it, trying to.
Dude, you know what? You know what's coming? Speaking of feeling in the wood, and it only happens once every year. It's you remember that first hunt of the year where it starts feeling ruddy.
Yeah,
it's usually I've had it happen on October 25th, even October 28th, but it'd be a afternoon where it's almost hazy. Yeah, it's almost kind of you're like, oh man, and you get the first, and then you'll see tails, the first chase that you see type of thing. That's pretty magical.
Yeah, overcast, maybe a wind.
Yeah,
just man, this is a good day for deer to be
moving. First time you hear a deep grunt far off, you're like, is that what I? Did I think I heard?
Yeah, they're rutting. Son.
Yeah, that's a hunter.
Yeah, probably.
That's common, man. Well, as we're sitting here right now, so. What is the date today? The
17th?
16th. Whatever. This weekend we're gonna get that rain coming through on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And I that's what I was predicting. I was like, yeah, you got a day or two here that looks pretty good, temperature wise. But I think once that rain passes, we're still coming into peak scrape stuff.
Oh yeah.
Next week is gonna be
scrapes are gonna just wide open.
I mean, historically, 23rd through the 26th has been my favorite in Pennsylvania. Yeah. That's where I've killed most of these 2 bucks there.
Yeah.
I've killed a lot of Pennsylvania bucks during that time frame, just waiting for that front to come through, get on a scrape, and he comes.
Dude, the scrapes are just automatic, dude. When it rains like that, they're coming. If you can get in there and have the right wind and stuff, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Beau, you need me to go clean that spot up for you maybe next week?
Take it. You got one more left in there.
I think my dad's already trying. I think my dad's already in there. I think he's probably in a tree right now.
He's like, hey, this red oak's still dropping.
Yeah. He got enough spots.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we can help you out, Johnny. I do owe you one.
Throw you a bone.
The HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Predator Camo.
Man, this one feels good, right? I know people have been looking at this picture over your shoulder for a while now. I think that was 2018, but We just, over the last, how many years, keep coming back to Predator Camo because it's been so damn good for us.
No doubt. I think we bought our first set off of Jen at the Archer Trade Show almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Jen's still with the company, and the patterns have only improved since then. They actually were recently acquired within the past couple of years. We've had a chance this past year to go and meet with new ownership, talk about redesigning a lot of the old lines, plans for new patterns, all of the above. So really excited about what's to come, not only this coming year, but in years to come. There's a lot of good stuff coming from Predator.
Yeah, and I mean, for us, it's always been going back to that breakup pattern, right? That's the historic look, whether you're talking about the spring greens or brown deceptions or fall grays.
Yeah.
I mean, that breakup is really what's been so powerful for us in a tree stand. And right now, they're letting anyone use the code HUNTR on the Predator Camo website and get 20% off any of the lines, including all the new stuff that dropped here in July.
Be the Predator.
What about old Rendell? How's he doing?
I haven't talked to him lately. I texted him yesterday, I think, said see how he's doing. And
He was in a funk last year.
Nocturnal stuff.
I'd be happy you're repping at Osseo, man. I see that.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, we were talking the other day that we got to get Rendell back on here soon.
I've been talking to him. Dude, Randall's great.
Yeah.
He tipped me off the other day to a tag situation.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, well, you guys are friends of me. And
Yeah.
so, and I couldn't work something out of it, but he's doing good. He's doing good.
Yeah.
He's got a spot in Kansas, private. It's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Zero input from us, but from the outside in, watching him transition to he's looking for some private opportunities.
I know, yeah.
And I'm like, of course, dude. He's like, well, I got these box blinds coming in today, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's got a little taste.
That's
of
why
it.
he's not talking to me. I told him, I said, he can't be.
He's probably
private.
embarrassed.
I said, I'll disown you, bro.
Well, he's still doing a lot of the public and Iowa stuff, and he's on a road.
He said he got some good ones.
Where at in Iowa?
He didn't say, but he's got some big ones nocturnal. Maybe are on the private.
Yeah, maybe.
No, because I went scouting with him this spring.
You did?
Yeah, and I was just like,
In Iowa.
That's
right. You have an Iowa tag.
I do have an
You
Iowa.
do?
That's right.
Oh.
That's why you were out scouting when you.
No
hooked up
wonder
with
he shot
Lakoski,
that
right?
thing.
Yeah, he wants to get it
Yeah.
out of
I
the
He's
went
like,
out-
yeah, I'll shoot a 2-year-old. I don't care. I got an Iowa tag.
No, I went out in March or April with him, and then I went out just in September on the way to Nebraska when I was hunting, and dropped a couple cameras and just scouted the areas out, and it just, I don't know.
Let me ask you this: where's your wife from? Where she live?
My girlfriend?
Yeah.
Don't put the cart before the horse. Jeez.
Just
Jared.
girlfriend. I thought you were engaged.
No.
Oh, never mind.
Still wouldn't be his wife.
My bad. I thought you were further along. Yeah. You're right.
Same
She's
thing.
from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
She
Like
was-
strong things that would keep you here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why?
Okay. Well, that was gonna
He's like, Iowa.
affect my assessment on how long it takes you to move to Iowa
After he
that.
hunts it, I said, you wait till you hunt Iowa.
Well, she did live in Kansas City for
That's
the
close
first
enough.
part of, and then she moved here this year. So
He'll be wanting to take another job out there. after
Yeah.
this.
Why did I? Why did I?
like I've been thinking I want to make sure you're happy.
Yeah.
For
You gotta
you,
go
I was
back.
thinking a move. How long you been with her?
Why
Why was I thinking fiance? A couple of years.
I mean, it's 5 years.
Maybe that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, it was. We felt the pull. I felt the pull. I mean, for sure. It's like, dude, I could live there, but our business.
Well,
will not in the foreseeable future. Like foreseeable future is what I say it.
The things that we talk about though are, and Beau will see it this year. It's like when you go out and hunt Iowa, it's so special because it's not what we have every season.
Yeah.
Like when you go out there and you see that, you're like, this is amazing. And I'm sure like if you lived out there for 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, like you would enjoy it. But at some point, then that becomes the norm.
Yeah.
And that is not something I envy for some people. I mean, even a Lakoski.
Yeah.
I mean, Lee's bored with it. That's why he's in Montana.
Not bored.
Oh, dude, he is.
He's not bored.
He is. I'm telling you. Look at
Does
him. when he-
Lakoski seem bored to you?
I wouldn't say that he seems bored. I'd say that he's looking for that next challenge, and that's what's taking him to Montana of like wanting to figure out different species and see if he can replicate what he did with whitetails with
Exactly.
something else.
Yeah, we sensed that as well. And it took him how long to get to that point?
Yeah.
30 years of chasing whitetails in
Yeah.
Iowa?
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm with you. I understand what you're
I
saying.
mean, also
Yeah.
like to do the Montana thing, there's also a larger financial
Commitment.
Yeah.
commitment to
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
be able to do that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I get what you're saying about like the specialness to it, but I don't know, like, and you guys might think I'm crazy, but I love Pennsylvania. Like I do. I like this.
No,
I like the seasons. I like having been around family. I like the traditions.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like the hunting. It's not as great as it can be in other places, but I enjoy it. Like it's and it makes it special when I go to those other places and travel. So like
honestly, I think it's what makes us deadly when we go to those other places.
Yeah.
Is because how you have to hunt here and then you take it to Kansas or Iowa or whatever. Like, dude, you're highly skilled at that point.
So can I ask? You don't have to tell us exactly, but where are you hunting in Iowa? Are you got permission or public?
Public, yeah,
all public.
Yeah.
Is that a decision that you made, or that's?
I don't care.
I made it for him.
No, I honestly I don't care either way. Where
No preference.
I have no preference.
Do you have a goal in mind?
What I didn't want is somewhere where someone's like, "Hey, you have to go sit here, do that." I just want to go experience it and try to figure things out on my own, and that's what I wanted. That's what I want out of that experience. And I put zero work into trying to find any private access of anything. From what I saw scouting public, I felt pretty good about it. But
what zone?
5.
And where did you scouted some public while you were out there? When did you go?
April and September.
Okay.
Yep.
What did you find different about those 2 trips? That you both were intentional scouting trips, and you went.
One was an intentional scouting trip / doing a podcast with Lee.
Which one was that?
That was in April.
Okay.
And then the one in September, I was going to hunt in Nebraska, and I just swung through. And,
okay.
And
what did you find different from one trip to the next?
If
anything.
I don't know. I mean, everything's so much easier to see sign wise when it comes to rut in the spring.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough to really gauge a lot now. More is like, I mean, I literally spent not even a full day scouting in September. It was just like, and I actually went to different spots than where I was at in the spring because I felt pretty good about those. I had trees picked, kind of have, I have 8 to 10 setups that I feel good about depending on the conditions and things. And I was just checking
cameras
crops
right
too.
now? You have cameras out there?
I have 2 cameras out there.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, get those numbers up, son. Those are rookie numbers.
I know. Well,
out there, you don't need them.
Well,
so you're going to find a spot and you're going to read the woods and you're going to see deer.
Yeah. And I don't like, I mean.
Well, what's your expectation?
That's funny you asked that because that's like the number one question I feel like everyone's been asking me.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, dude, you wait 6 years to draw. What's your expectation?
I don't have like a score on it. What my thing is I want something that I look at that there's no question because, and you can always, because I can play games in my mind. I've shot a lot of deer that I'm like, oh yeah. But of like, when I saw that deer last night, there was like there was no doubt. Like when that 3-year-old 8-point came in, I was trying to make him bigger for like 10 minutes. I was like, I mean, that chest was looking a little barreled. No, I'm like, no, he's not. So but like, I want something that's a no-brainer. Like I look at it and with my expectations of Iowa, not saying this is the same as Pennsylvania, whatever that is that I don't know what that would even look like.
And it's hard to put a score on it. I mean, you can't go in and saying, well, I want to kill 170 because I mean they're there, but they're few and far between. Yeah. And so I mean, I think like ours were. I mean, we wanted to kill a big buck, but we wanted to kill mature deer. Like that was the plan, I guess.
Well, it's funny thinking about like dreams or goals or whatever. It's almost like taboo or whatever to be like, I want to shoot a 200-inch deer, or it almost seems like you can over ask from the universe. You're like, well, I don't know, like a booner would be nice.
Iowa is different on the public now than it was 12 years ago.
For sure, dude.
Like
it gets pounded.
There's a lot of pressure.
It gets pounded.
Is it too late to like? Are you open to opportunities like on private and stuff?
Yeah, I'm open to it. Yeah.
Are you still thinking you might in the last quarter maybe pursue some of those? Like
I'm not against like
Lakowski's got plenty that need shots. So
I know. Well, and he did tell me I could hunt there.
He'd offer for sure.
But it's not in the right zone, anyways. But
he's got some M5s.
Oh, but. Oh, I didn't know that.
Actually, no. A lot of their stuff is in 6, I think.
Yeah,
it is.
It's not definitely not 4. He's got 5
6 is in South.
We got some friends that have stuff in in 5.
But you also would be in the situation you don't want to be in, which is you're going to go sit that spot and you're going to kill this deer.
Yeah, and that's and like I said,
yes and no. I mean, there's some flexibility there. Guys want you to have fun.
Yeah, and like like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. And like I when I say that, like, oh, you got an opportunity to hunt that, and you're like, no, I'm good. Like I didn't. That wasn't out of disrespect. It's not that I wouldn't enjoy that opportunity. It's my first time going to Iowa. I was like, I just kind of want to feel it and learn and try to
do your own thing.
Just see what happens.
Well, what's your timeline look like?
Right now I have an Airbnb booked for 2 weeks.
Oh, dude, you're golden. Holy shit.
What 2 weeks?
I told him you might as well hunt West Virginia extra couple, just go out there for 3 days.
Yeah.
Which 2 weeks?
November 6th to 22nd.
Oh, yeah.
Some good days in there.
Oh, yeah.
I killed on the 5th, so you just missed it. But you missed by 1 day.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Truthfully, we weren't going to start until the 6th either, until that weather system moved
we
through.
left a day early.
And so we ended up hunting, got a half day in, and that's when I killed.
So if that
Jeremy
weather
killed on the
system's
6th.
coming in a day early, I would just sleep in your truck.
Well, I know the public land that I hunt, I see a lot of deer, bigger deer in around the teens to the 20th because they're starting to travel.
Yeah.
22nd, 23rd, 25th,
Coming off of
28th.
that
Let me
lockdown.
ask you this. What do you guys think of, are you tracking moon at all, Johnny?
No.
In any capacity?
Not
Are
at
you?
all.
I'm not. My dad is, and I started paying more attention to
Your
it.
dad does?
My dad's been having logs of it for 15
So
years.
what's his thinking on that? What is he tracking? Is it phase? Is it
Yeah, it's phase. And a lot of it, like we talked about it. He's like, he sees like a lot of after, the full moon as you're getting like that cold weather that's coming through, seeing stuff there, the red moon stuff.
say that
like,
again? That first part?
After the full moon, because like the full moon's usually clear, colder
night.
Usually coincides with colder mornings. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're thinking that's good. So after the full moon, he likes that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm tracking right
I
now.
hope I'm not misspeaking
okay.
for him, but I don't.
He'll correct you later.
So what I'm tracking right now
So
is
maybe it's weather, not the moon. You said the colder.
Yeah, but it usually coincides with it, and that's what he said. He's like, yeah, that's something that he brought up.
interesting. So what was proposed to me is the opposite. Basically, the 10 days following a full moon is mature buck movement in the afternoon, especially is pretty stagnant. Which for the past 10 days, my observation has been to be true. Obviously, you killed last night, and I've seen a few. There's been a bit, but compared to the prior 10 days, it's been.
Yeah, when the full moon is what, like the
About 10 days ago.
Okay,
We're right at the tail end of it here.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, 'cause I remember when I was in Canada seeing it when I'd be walking out.
Well,
Every night I'd be looking at the same piece of the sky and get a little bit more.
Little
The
bit
people I've
more.
been talking to lately, the last 10 days is like dead.
It's been dead for like a little over a week.
Yep.
Yeah, unless you're in Beau spot.
I base a lot of mine off of people that I talk to.
Sure.
Like I got guys hunting in a big woods bow, and I talk to everybody, and we're all kind of doing the same thing, and it's kind of similar stuff.
Literally, I felt it. I went last Thursday.
Yep.
I went up and we had like a little kind of front there. I was thinking it was going to
You were feeling it.
It's going to get nice, and I went and I sat that night and I saw a 3-year-old and some does, just kind of like doing their thing. But I just, for whatever reason at the tail end of that, I was not feeling it. I was going to hunt through last weekend, and I just pulled out. I was like, I just don't think they're going to do it. And as far as the cameras can tell me, they never did.
You're right.
I still haven't all the way through.
That's what I've heard from everybody I've talked. I'm always every day talking to different people, running cameras, checking everything. It's like, everybody. So it's not a coincidence.
How?
It might have something to do.
I mean, clearly they're doing something. Like they're not just staying in their bed,
there.
standing up. Like they're doing something.
What's weird is, like at the beginning of the year, I heard that Dwayne Diefenbach said, "Hey, deer are on their feet outside of the rut during daylight hours almost 40% of the time." So I'm thinking, man, but it's all in with a small spot.
Yeah, they
know?
get up, mill
Move
around,
the
get
feet,
back
but-
down.
So let me ask
But
you
I
this.
kind of like used that, like, man, I need to get out there.
I know.
How dialed in do you think we can get? Like, do you think we all have the same feeling? Like when it's happening, it's happening. Is there an environmental factor that you think that we? I mean, obviously, can you feel high pressure, or is it just something you sense? Like that's obviously one.
I mean, I'm sure there's
The bluebird
there's
stuff,
a
the cold
barometric
temperatures.
pressure.
We can feel all those. Do we feel the same things that the bucks are
I don't
feeling?
think we feel, but I think our experiences can relate to us feeling a certain
Almost like subconsciously, like you've had
But
good
you'd have to feel it
encounters on days
to connect the dots.
Yeah, through feeling, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's your experience over the years that you're like, oh, this feels right.
Connect to
Like
success.
Beau was saying on the
Yeah.
way to his stand, he's like, it just things felt right. It's
Yeah.
almost hard to
And
describe.
it's like
but-
it's like experience of like when you're pushing into some place to go hunt and you're going to hang and hunt, and it's like like that's a question.
Yeah.
I guess like how
How
close
close?
do you go? It's
That's
like,
the question.
it's like I
How
don't
far do you
I
go?
don't know. I've just blown out enough deer that I start to
Yeah,
I feel
you
like I
start
get
to
this
feel like I
sense-
can't go anymore.
Yeah.
Well, but you also said like as you're walking in there and you're seeing, beech tree snap, like all of those sensory type things you're like, okay, there's a fresh scrape.
And
like,
then you look out and you start seeing all of a sudden from open wood, you start
Yeah.
seeing another canopy underneath. You're like, okay, that's getting
There-
thick.
there's my
Like,
line
there's
right
your
here.
line or probably somewhere
it.
just in there. And it's like, and so they make, I had all that action last night, but that could have just been that I got in close enough to the bedding
Yeah.
where they were moving.
you could have
And,
held
like,
up 20 yards and he would have been out of range.
I was at the processor this morning and there was 4 other guys that I was talking to one guy, but he was talking to 4 other guys last night. Nobody saw anything.
Yep.
In the same relative area.
And
so,
you were covered up.
and I was covered up. So like I think there's a little bit of
But then again, you were where they were bedding. too.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly.
And
it.
there was food dropping. You were in the right place at the right time.
That's what I not hate. Hate's a strong word, but like what I as far as like apps or what things that tell you that good to hunt, like it's good, today's good hunting day. I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like that's where the moon stuff, like I'm open to the idea that the moon may have some component, but it's been boiled down to like a chart, and I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. There's way more, a lot of variables to go in just a moon.
Yeah.
Weather, pressure, like everything. Like,
And that's like the way my dad has put it is he's like, what it's done for him is like he doesn't live or die by that, but he looks at it as, oh, maybe this gives me a little bit more
Sure.
confidence or hope
Yeah.
that day
Yeah.
to go in.
And that's
and-
everything, man.
Yeah.
And it's so I asked you the question, and so specifically, it's the 10 days preceding a full moon that he thinks like the weather's gonna develop.
I don't want to. I should not speak on it because I don't.
You haven't
know.
talked to him about this? Like
I
in depth?
have, and I just it's just not.
He's like, oh, you want to look at this book, Beau? I don't think so.
It takes me. Last time I mentioned it to him, I was like, I remember when I said it to him, I was like, yeah, Dad, like, why? He said it on one of my podcasts. I was like, I said, you never showed me that. He's like, yeah, I did. You just don't ever listen. I was like,
I've heard him say that.
Yeah.
Do you guys
listen
talk
to me.
throughout the season of like, hey,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going out tonight here. I'm going tonight because this, and I'm going here because why?
now more than ever. I mean, we live half mile from each other, so he's either at my house or I'm at his house. We're reviewing maps, we're looking at things, we're reviewing trail cam stuff, looking at there's still I feel like there's certain data stuff he's keeping that I haven't seen.
You think so?
I think
No,
so.
do
you're
you
just
guys-
not paying attention. He shows you.
Do you guys cross over spots a lot?
No, more now than we've had since
Like,
I was like
indirectly, like you're like, hey, I like this spot, and he's like, yeah, I've been hunting it for 10 years.
We've had that before, but I've kind of learned like his vicinities, and I know now. But there's been many places I'm like, Dad, you can't claim everything for the last 30 years. That's now your hunting spot.
He's like,
And,
you see this whole mountain? No, it's off limits.
Yeah, but there's been a few because I was like, we might as well scout some of the same places, and like I don't care, like I'd just be as happy as him killing a deer as I would. So like when I was hunting that deer, like I was joking that he's probably sitting in a tree already, but I told him beforehand, I was like, come hunt it with me, like that there's multiple spots
Sure.
that deer could be coming. I don't know exactly where that deer's at, like I'm just
Yeah.
throwing darts at a map based off of experiences and trying to put as many clues together, but there's multiple places I feel like he could be. So let's,
Does
tag
he run
team that.
cameras?
He runs a lot of cameras. Yeah.
Yeah. Cell cams or SDs?
Mostly SDs.
Yeah. So he's in the woods a lot, just checking cams,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
but scouting.
Yeah. He's in the woods every day.
I asked him Sunday how many cameras out. He told me, but I'm not going to disclose it.
It's a lot.
I don't
huh?
even know if I know it. It's a lot.
I don't know. Does he care?
I don't think so.
He said he got 50.
50? Yeah.
PA. Up.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, because and this was probably right at cell cam stuff or just prior to, I probably ran, I don't know, 20 on the mountain up here. But what it did is I scouted 3 or 4 days a week. Because if I was going to go in and check a camera card, I was like, I might as well just scout
Yeah.
and see if there's any new sign up here. Check this area out. I haven't done that. And so like I was in the woods a lot. I wasn't hunting as much because I was just scouting and checking. But then, you know, as those weather fronts and stuff aligned, that's when like there was a streak there. I think I killed 3 or 4 deer first sit in late October. I just didn't hunt until I was like, okay, now's the time. Go and kill them.
Well, yeah, and not to like beat a dead horse with that as far as like with cell cams, but it's like I love them from the standpoint of going in. I know Johnny's not a huge fan of them, but I like the point of not having to go in, be able to see, but not tracking them. Like, again, if you would have looked at the camera data of like recent intel where I killed that buck last night, you wouldn't have hunted there because it was like there was nothing that was like, oh, this big buck's, you know, daylight.
Which is the downfall of those cameras.
Which is the downfall of it. And I started last year was like a big. I saw so many people going down this trap of like
following
those cameras.
You hunt pictures.
And last year when I had arguably the best season I had in October, it was hunting when I wasn't getting pictures of like trying to predict when they would be showing up based off of those conditions, and still using the same historical data that I was using from pulling SD cards and not worrying about
just stay a step ahead.
But still using them for the ability that what I like of like, oh, okay, there's a doe laying by the scrape. She looks freaking ready. Like that area might light up here soon. Like there's still recent stuff you can use with them.
Does it ever seem to you like like when I'm just looking at cell cameras, like the woods feels big in a sense that it's just like they could be anywhere. Because I'm here and the cameras are there and it's just like, it's a big world out there. I don't know. But when you're there and you're actively like scouting a piece of woods, it's like the woods feel, it's like if you take a wrong step when you're walking through the woods, you're like, I could blow this thing out. Like, doesn't it feel smaller, like more intimate in a way when you're actually there in person? It's like, oh, this isn't actually as big or even as hard as I thought it was with the cell cameras. It's like,
well, and no, it's kind of on the same lines of it, but like when I have a cell cam or just a camera in general out and I'm looking at them like, okay, this is, I've got this covered. Like it's a good scrape. Like I've got this covered, and I'm in the tree last night and I can like kind of see my cameras. This is little tiny thing angled at
stupid
this one spot. I'm like, look at all these.
Yeah, look at all this wood. And you're looking at
that's what I mean.
That's what I'm going off of. He's got to go right in.
That's
front
what
of
I mean.
that.
Essentially, it's like when you're there, like I can see everything. Like I can I can see everything.
Well, did you get any of those deer you saw last night? Did they walk in front of your camera?
0.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're like,
even the one that came by me at 10 yards was just like off of it. And it's like that. My best days that I'll have in the woods, I can be sitting with a camera there and nothing goes past.
I know, isn't it crazy?
During that time, it's crazy.
The one I showed you the picture of is making him rubs. He has a weird horn coming off his base, and so I found his rubs, and they're not like vertically rubbed. You know, he has more marks going like on a 45 or horizontal, like because of that.
Yeah, he can't get his
stupid thing.
His
you know,
skull cap into it.
I found the 2 rubs, and they're fresh. You know, kind of 150 yards off that cut. I'm like, good, no cameras here, and I could see with the blowdowns, I could see how he would navigate through the forest to get. He was coming through that bowl when he kind of dropped down. And there's a little bench, and as soon as I saw the bench, I said, "This is where I want to have a camera." And then the rubs were there, and we worked up the point, and there was a cell cam on the point, up higher elevation, maybe 100 feet higher. But I'm like, there was a lot of acorns there, and you could tell the guy made a mock scrape. I'm like, this spot sucks. this deer's not.
Yeah, he's not.
And there was a rub there that was made by another buck, didn't have any junk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's good. I said, in some of the mature deer will be on a direct path. Like he don't have to go walk through that 10 acres of acorns, because he just goes right through the middle and hits a couple trees, lets himself be known, and walk off. You know, he's not always going like this. And so that guy's probably looking at his camera like, man, ain't nothing hitting my scrape, you know, and which is good for me that I went out there and visually found the sign that was fresh and put the pieces of the puzzle together. So I mean, yeah, there's good and bad. I don't like using them because I feel like, I don't know, just it's not. I guess it ain't easy.
Well, I mean, your camera style is a lot different, right? Are you still checking all your stuff at night or most of it?
I check a lot. Yeah, at night I go out, but it's in spots that are like you're going to be invasive and you need to go see. And I want to know that intel where someone would put a cell cam and get that knowledge. Like back for the 15 years, like when you just ran cameras, you couldn't go and check that spot without blowing it out. You'd have to go for a sit, or you couldn't go check it. Like
So the thought is your cameras are in places near their bedding, away from feed.
bedding close, yeah. Where
That's why you're going at
invasive-
night,
yeah,
'cause you think they're
somewhere
out
where I
feeding
think
somewhere.
they're going to be, yeah. Like during the day, if I think these in, it's where you want to hunt, and it's a daytime, right? So that's where I have my cameras, but I also have them like out this way to where I can check as I'm going in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's for a hunt or if I'm going at night, I'll check this one. But I'll go through the whole forest. I got a handheld light, and I just, I scout
Are
at
you
night.
literally pulling cards and checking them on the walk in? Like,
Yeah, I'll go and I'll check them. Yeah,
Ask
or
him
I'll
what
switch 'em out.
him what he uses to check them.
what do you use?
I used to use
What do you use
a
to-
laptop too.
You just carried a laptop in?
Yeah.
Until he lost two.
A lot better than a viewer. Those
Lost-
things.
How'd you lose?
Lost 2 of them.
Oh, you didn't hear the story?
No, how'd you lose a laptop?
I know. I feel dumb because I've had him. I tell this every year at the
Are they
scouting
good
camp.
laptops? Like
MacBooks. Yeah.
you
How
lost
do you
2 of
lose?
them.
Well, the one I crushed, I was pulling a stand, and I had it in my backpack because them stupid little card readers wouldn't read.
Oh, yeah.
Like your videos wouldn't
Yeah.
have the timestamp.
Yep.
I used to have a digital camera that did. Then I lost that, so I'm like, I'll just take this. So I had my pack on the ground, and like I took my stand. I was just like taking it off, and I was like, whew.
Crack.
Yeah. So I crushed it, and then last year we went into it was a short hike, man, 300 yards in to check a camera, and so we went in to check the camera, and I think maybe move a stand. I don't know what I did, but it was we were coming back out. It was daylight, and we were in Ohio, and I had my computer in my pack and drive all the way home. So 3 days later, 5 hours away, I'm at home. I'm like, man, where's my computer at? Where's my laptop? I'm looking. I tear the house apart, and I'm like, man, I used it in the woods, and I walked out, and I asked Harry was with me. I said, didn't I have my computer with me? Like when I came out? Yeah, I think so. So like, here's how bad I am. We went down the following weekend or something, and most people were like, man, I got to go check that spot for my laptop. I was already worried about other deer and checking other cameras, and that one, the laptop just slipped my mind. I got it's deer. I got to go. So I even hunted that spot like throughout the season, and there was acorns
Just
dropping.
never
I'm
bothered to
looking.
really look for it.
I never even looked because I went to that stand to pull it or something, or the camera, and I was out. So it was either at the car, the 200-300 yards in at the tree, and then back out. So I never really looked for it. Then Jake and I were down there shed hunting that spring, and we're walking through the woods, and I found a horn here. I'm like, oh man, cool. So now I'm really tuned in to like finding the other side, and I'm walking through the woods, and I'm looking, something down there glaring, shining in my eye. I'm like, what the hell is that? Something shiny down there in the woods. And I'm like, oh, there's my laptop. It was right by the tree. Right by the tree I went to. Like I was even there twice and never even thought about
Oh
it.
my word!
I'll just go get another one.
Right off, I guess.
Holy
Not
cow.
bad, but I mean, I want it to be really challenging. Like I could put a lot of cell cams in places that are hard to get to and get knowledge that you wouldn't be able to get without being invasive and intrusive
Right.
and blowing deer out. And that's just where I am. That's what I'm not saying it's always going to be like that. And that's how I want it to be. I don't want to sell cam. I don't want to use it. I want it to be really challenging to
Yeah.
me. So that's
Well,
what
I'll tell you what, dude. This year has been like, I mean, I've kind of known this, but I saw it like with my own eyes this year. There's a 6-year-old deer living in this clear cut, and I could see him from the road coming out. I noticed him, put him up. There he is, like 3 nights in a row. The 3 nights I was there, I was like, he's there a lot. And I've got a camera freaking right on the edge of this clear cut. I've got 2 of them, one on a scrape, one on a feeder. I haven't had a picture of that deer in over a month, maybe 2 months.
he's there.
He's there. I know he's there. He's just not, I'm just not getting
Yeah.
pictures of
Yeah.
him. It's the weirdest thing. And like there's no connecting timber, this way. It's possible that overnight he's gone somewhere else. That is possible. But the only connecting timber, like in this direction, I've got cameras on scrapes that it's like if he comes through, like I'm gonna get him.
Yeah.
And he just
Oh, we talk about it with
isn't.
the cell cams. I for sure think that they throw some sort of frequency that, just like
Yeah.
you were talking about with the barometric pressure.
Yeah,
and everything.
well, they do. They
There's
definitely sense them
something
somehow.
there.
So is this deer like especially sensitive
Maybe.
to that? Like he just doesn't like it at
Yeah,
all?
very
I
possible.
mean, some of the deer up in our area that get to the 5, 6, 7, 8 year old, they're not even hitting scrapes that the other deer use. They're like totally other. I've seen it. His deer he shot, that scrape was as big as this table, and I said to my buddy, I said, "You were in our archery hunt and you hit a deer. Was it that big 9?" No, it wasn't. I said, because he hasn't been at that scrape. We killed him. He was laying 100 yards from the scrape. A lot of those deer that get to that age, they're totally other. They don't. So you get the 2 to 4 year old deer, 3 year old hitting these scrapes.
Yep.
And it's like
which is what most people see.
And it's like,
experience.
so you don't have, a lot of people don't have the 5+ deer year old to see how they navigate and live, but they are actually like a 65, 70 year old man, and these other deer are like 25 year old. And he's like, the 25s are going out getting drunk, partying, wasting their money, and this old man's like, I don't even want to be around you guys. You guys are dumb. Like their demeanor and their mindset, they've been there, they've done that, and they just need to be like, the analogy I use a lot now is like you have a town of maybe 1,000 people. Everybody knows each other, and there's nothing for miles but this town, and you get the guy that's the badass. He doesn't have to go lives on the edge of town before you leave town, and he doesn't have to go knock on your door or like say I'm a bad MFer, like they know he lives there. Everybody talks about him. He exists, but he doesn't have to go.
They just
tell
don't see
everybody.
him. Yeah.
He's just living. He's the satellite. He's there. Everybody knows he exists by word of mouth, like with deer, smell, talk, communicate. Like they know where he lives. They know where he is. He doesn't have to walk down a road. Like the buck doesn't have to go scrape and make rubs. Like some of these deer that I'm looking for barely find any rubs. They just exist, and they got their food and water, and they are breeding does, but they don't have to go out and puff their chest out. Like they're not going through town and letting everybody know, like, hey, you know me, I'm a bad motherfucker. Like he just lives there, and everybody knows him. But I learned that from, like Beau said, I was telling him about a deer that I'm looking after, another deer, and he said, you need to find a 4-year-old because you can pattern him. He's going to hit these scrapes. He's trying to puff his chest out and compete with the other 4 to 5-year-old. He's got some testosterone. He's the 25-year-old. He's not the 60-plus-year-old deer. And I think a lot of people don't get to experience the deer to get to this age and act this way, and they're really challenging.
It's been interesting is I've noticed it's actually on those same 2 cameras. I got one on a feeder and one on a scrape. They're like 50 yards apart from each other. They're on the edge of this clear cut, which is right on the edge of like what I would call a core block of like habitat. And there's, apart from that 6-year-old deer that's in there that I don't get pictures of, I call him Curly. His brow tines kind of go like this. There's
Kind of curl. They kind of curl.
Yeah, they kind of curl out. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I got you.
And
Yeah, pretty innovative.
I know. I know. There's been 1,000 deer named Curly, but we don't put a lot of effort into naming the deer. We'll put it that way. There's another deer. Yeah, this one's called Flyer because he's got a flyer deer. There's a 5-year-old deer in there that last year had a flyer, so we call him Flyer. And he's just like doesn't matter what he is, I guess. He's like a 140-inch 8-point or something like that, 145-inch 8-point. And there is a 4-year-old that's way better genetic potential. Like he's a stud, super heavy and stuff. But literally, I'm watching this 4-year-old follow the 5-year-old around, and he's about an hour behind him. Like, and so I don't know if that's necessarily exactly what's happening, but like the 5-year-old is like and it's after dark. So like the 5-year-old be like an hour before before dark. Let me think. An hour after dark, he'll show up and like hit the scrape and then go out to the ag field and then do this loop. And then like an hour later, hour and a half later, here comes this 4-year-old and he'll do the same thing. Forgive me. Reverse it.
Yeah.
Reverse it. So it's like the 5-year-old is like an hour harder to kill than this 4-year-old. But they're on the same loop, it seems. Like they're doing the same thing. But the 4-year-old is like, he's on a fringe of daylight, and he will sooner than later. And my dad might kill him tonight. He's sitting on that scrape. And the 5-year-old is like an hour behind him.
Yeah.
In either direction. Like an hour
an
hour
it's
harder
not
to kill.
that 5-year-old is an hour further of a walk away. It's
No.
just that, like, that's always
He just knows.
That's like the biggest thing I've learned from cameras. Even that one, like I said, the one I killed last night, my only picture album is 2 a.m. You think, oh, he's come from so far away. That doesn't always mean that at all.
No.
I mean, it can be.
It can.
It can be, but it doesn't always.
Especially with the oaks and what you have, the situation.
Yeah.
They're there.
But
Depends on the
With
environment.
mine, they're not. Dude, these deer are
Jared's
coming
got a
from like
10-acre block of timber.
150 yards
Yeah.
into timber. You know,
Yeah.
they're just milling, doing their thing, and then when they finally feel it's safe, you know, the 4-year-old will come out first and do his thing, you know, hit his scrape or whatever, and then like, and if it's another hour before that 5-year-old decides to come out.
And I do think it's very personality
Sure.
driven, even with older deer. Like that is the one
For
thing.
sure.
Like I think Johnny and I agree on more things than not, but that's the one thing I disagree with a little bit. Is I do feel like older deer, even at the really older age class, will hit scrapes. It just depends on their personality, and some of them learn things like
You
That-
disagree with that? You don't think they will?
What's that?
like the older.
I think a lot-
6+.
They'll make their own
hit.
scrapes.
Okay,
Or like in situations like, so the area that I'm hunting, it's everything, all the habitat is there for the general deer population, to where he's just a satellite.
Yeah.
He lives with them. Like I said, it's the town that he lives with everybody. It's not like the town is spread out over
Sure.
50 miles where he has to go make this scrape and communicate and say, do you know me? I heard about you. But like, he's in a tight-knit group of deer that live there all year, so he doesn't really have to go make a lot of scrapes.
I'm with
and
you
stuff.
100%. What,
You know?
what would be what's the point? Like, you think he makes his own scrapes?
Some of them, or he just doesn't. Like, he's the only deer in my area that reached that age.
Like,
So
do you feel
he's-
like he just doesn't
need to
have to
communicate.
communicate? He doesn't have to, try to establish the
'cause
hierarchy
he's-
because he is the top of the
yeah,
hierarchy.
he's the top,
and everybody knows that already.
Yeah, everybody
Everybody
knows
knows that.
and I agree with that.
But isn't the point of the scrape, though, for the purpose of communication?
Yeah, definitely
in
communicating.
establishing a hierarchy.
But if you figure,
Via communication.
But there's also, I also believe there's
It is
scrapes that
definitely
are just like
communication.
aggressive. Like,
Sure.
I'm just
I'm just
worked
here to
up right now.
thrash
I'm walking
something.
around.
some will scrape just to scrape.
stiff armed. So
but I feel like it's definitely communication. But he don't have, like I said, they all live, and they're all throughout the year
I'm with
live in
you.
the same
His presence
area.
is known. They
it's
know
not
he's
the
there.
it's not
Presence
the
is
only
known.
way of communication, right? With amongst the herd,
Yes,
right?
they
So
could see him. They know where he lives, hangs out, and he'll
Yep.
come up and
they smell them.
smell him and all that. And he doesn't. I'm not saying. I feel like sometimes they feel like they're better than the other the younger
Yeah.
deer, and he's not always going to participate in their scrapes.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, because
So-
he doesn't have to work. He's not just
not
one of
competing.
5 2-year-olds or one of 6 3-year-olds or one of 3 4-year-olds. Like, he doesn't
are
have
you
to
making
Exactly.
scrapes though? Are you like
I've done in the past in my areas, and like I listen to Steve Shirk and everybody does them, and I know his area. I've visited, and it's more vast, big timber, to where it's like, I feel like it's not like the area I hunt, that is more like close knit group of deer, and these older deer, they just kind of like live there. And I've run sprayed the shit or whatever you buy, I tried it all, and I wouldn't get make my mock scrapes, or I'd touch up the ones that I think are the community ones, and I know the big deer in the area, and
but
I
you
never,
would just get the 2 and 3-year-old type
yeah, the
deer.
3 to 4 year old deer,
interesting?
and I never, but this situation is different, because I look at it like they already know each other.
Well, I think this is where, like, and it's just because of the way where we hunt that's so much
And
different.
then you
It's
might
different.
you
It's
might have
different.
more of the 5+ year old deer that they're still competing.
Yeah. Well, like, there'll be, like, in the next 2 to 3 weeks even, like, there are deer on the mountain that I'm waiting to show up. Like, they're probably still alive, I think, right? I don't have any proof of that, but I'm waiting for them to show up. You know the deer that you have.
Yeah.
And that's who you got for the year.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm talking about like one or two deer. That
Well-
I'm not saying this is what I find all the time. Like
Sure.
that deer I showed you, he made rubs and he scraped right.
yeah.
So,
Right.
but there's situations where, like with Beau's deer, he didn't never hit that scrape.
Yeah, the deer I shot in 2020 that was in Johnny's area. I think we might have talked about it last time we were on here, but it was a rifle buck.
Shot
and
one in Johnny's area.
Yeah, that's why I said I owe him one.
Since 2020.
It just so happens. to be
Johnny's
my
like, yeah,
it just so
I'm
happens
past
to
it
be
at
for
this
this.
point.
my biggest deer too.
Oh
so.
boy.
He's collecting interest on it.
Dang, he's up to a 170 now.
Yeah, he's really working. He's like, hey, you know what? Can you just change that Iowa tag name this year?
Well, I mentioned something to him about cleaning up. He's like, "Oh, my dad's in there already."
Yeah,
I got you, Johnny. I got plenty of spots.
I got
man.
plenty.
I
of
got
spots.
plenty of spots.
I've told you at any time. You're welcome. But like with that deer, I remember Johnny talking about it that day that I killed that deer. He's like, when he said it, it sounded odd the way he put it, but it made so much sense at the same time. He's like, in this, I'm not saying you sound odd, but like when you were saying like you had this big scrape, massive community scrape on this point, on the edge of these hemlocks, there's oaks dropping on the side hill. He's like, I haven't had that deer on camera in months. He goes, but he's in there.
And
And
this is like
he's
gun
living
season
in gun season, and there's people driving.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
gunshots all over on the tops of the hills, but that side hill was super steep, and off this point had those hemlocks and everything that created real good thermal bedding cover there, and then the oaks on the side hill, and it was just like he's in there, and my dad went through and wind bumped it. And we both set up. He set up towards the top. I set up halfway down, and I shot him at 15 yards with 300 Win Mag when he came out. And that deer was so smart. Like he came out.
He knew exactly what
he was
doing.
looking behind him the whole time. He did not want to come out into that open oaks. He was gonna wrap right back around.
Yeah.
And that's when I went down that hill. I was looking, and Johnny's like, find a good spot to set up there. I didn't know the area, but I was looking. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here looking over this open. Yeah, there's
Like
a bunch of
rifle
shot
hunters want.
opportunities, but like that deer's not gonna just bust out running through.
No,
Like,
he knows that's not going to
that
end well.
spot on that point where he's betting at is safety to him, and he wants to get back there. And just smelling one guy coming across, like he's like, I can
That's
get
not
around.
enough
I
to
can get
bump him.
around that, you know. And
That was awesome.
that was
So I mean, that community
Incredible.
scrape had been there, and I'm sure it was getting lit up by bucks all
I
through
think he lived
November.
downwind.
And he just didn't need to be physically on
he
it.
didn't,
But
yeah.
he scent checked it probably every day.
Yeah, and I did have him once at night, kind of not even really hit it, like in October, come through and that. But yeah, he's just like, I'll just lay down here.
Well, I think that's the scent check thing. And I mean, that's one that, again, from a camera side, right, we completely misanalyze because our cameras are sitting on the scrape, right? We can't see anything that's happening downwind. And we know for sure those big bucks are scent checking those, especially those hot scrapes, all the time. And it's like, if he never comes up to it, you never see it. The 3-year-old comes up, the 2-year-old comes up and hits it. Right. And he doesn't have to. He's just continuing checking to wait to see if a doe hits it, that he's like, okay, she's about ready to go. And that I think that's probably the biggest one. In fact, we had a guy write us, it was cool. It was a younger kid. I forget where he's hunting, but he sent me all these pins, and he's hunting kind of stuff like your hat. It's like real blocky, lots of big ag. And he's like, I just don't know. I had this big deer here, and and you're looking, and there's like nowhere else for him to come from. Like he's got cameras in the ditch, like he has to be coming through here. And ultimately, I was like, "Are you on a scrape?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm facing these scrapes. I'm just not sure." And I'm like, "Man, I think he's probably just coming downwind and just scent checking them."
Yeah.
And he's never physically, if he is the buck quality you're talking about, like he just isn't doing it. He doesn't need to. He just scent checks them and moves on. And gets the job done.
Yeah, 'cause he's able to smell it, and like Johnny says, and that's like he's able to. He doesn't need to establish his dominance.
That's
from
the key.
The standpoint of like always having to him. And what I was saying when I said I disagree is not saying that like I'm totally opposite. I do believe there's certain deer at that older age class that are more social, that will. Like
Well, it's also the age structure, dude. Like think about when you go out to Iowa and there's multiple 5+s on public, they will hit that scrape because they have to.
Wait till you go out to Iowa. You'll be like, these deer are idiots. You'll be like, they're all just doing everything that 3-year-olds do.
Yeah, it's exactly what it. But it's because
I sure hope so.
Dude, it will be. It's because that age structure is very uniform, right? Whereas we've got 1 or 2 at the top.
Yeah.
So they're just like, I don't have to shake this out for anyone.
Yep.
There's no reason to.
Yep.
Not going to waste any energy, and they don't want to have to fight a 4-year-old just to burn energy.
And just for context, that deer that I killed with Johnny, when I sent his teeth in, he was aged 8.5.
Holy shit!
And he had his biggest rack.
Yeah, he was 155 and 2/8 is a 9 point. Yeah,
Nice.
And that
was
was wild. I can imagine that deer working that hillside. He just knows that hillside
Oh,
so
yeah.
well.
I went up there this year because there's acorns, and there's no sign. It's early yet, but I was with my camera guy, and he pointed. He's like, "There's a camera." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I looked
Johnny's
at.
like, grab the baseball bat.
Did I
like-
tell you? Did I tell you I just got an email? Well, actually, the email was from 9 months ago. I just opened it, but it was.
Wow, you're on top of it.
Listen, because I have
Quick response coming to the
I have
East Meets West.
I have the Mountain Buck Monday stuff that I post every Monday. I open them in the order that I receive them when they're going to be posted. So the stories, I read them, I respond to every one.
Yeah.
But I do that, and I got a lot last year, so I'm still getting
So
through the ones
you're
from
9 months
December.
behind.
Actually, yeah, I'm going through the ones of December of
Wow.
last year, and a guy sent to me, he's like, "Oh, and by the way, that 9 point you killed with Johnny, I've got intel on him, and I was chasing him that same year, and he had given
Oh.
A guy told us that, didn't he? Like,
yeah,
right
but
after
there's been 3 different people now that have sent me photos of that deer that were chasing it.
they're chasing it, but I feel like
But
they
they
didn't
didn't.
know exactly where he
Isn't that
lived.
funny? I
Yeah.
mean, that's a cool thing when you start to put that story
But I went up
together,
there, checked that spot, and my cameraman's like, "Oh, look, there's a camera there." I'm like, "Dang it!" And I look, I'm like, it was a cell
Eric,
camera.
that's my camera.
It was a Moultrie, one of the old ones. They were this big.
Yeah.
I looked, I said, "That's my camera." I went up to it, and it was like the tree was. It was
Just
5
growing
years
into
ago.
it.
So I open it up, and the batteries are all rusted and shit. And I pulled a card, and like the paper falls off the card, and I was like, I come in here to look for this camera like 5 years ago, and I think my buddy Greg went in there and hunted before you shot your deer, and it was on that scrape, or maybe I don't even know. Maybe I moved it. I don't, because it was there while you. And I went in there to look for it, and it wasn't in the spot that I thought it was. And I said, "Yeah, damn guys stole my cell cam in here." I had moved it, and I didn't know about it.
HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Deer Grow.
Man, hard to believe, but Deer Grow has been the sponsor that's been there since the beginning of the HUNTR Podcast. Back in 2021, I think that they were the only partner that we had, but it's such a cornerstone brand and set of products for our food plot strategy throughout the year.
No doubt. And it seems like we used to have an off season, but not so much anymore. It's like when the hunting season ends, it really rolls right into food plot season, habitat projects, all of the above. And the Plot Start and Plot Boost have been there since the very beginning. That's a cornerstone for all of our plots. The Plot Start goes on at the beginning, Plot Boost goes on midway through. And since they came out with all of the fertilizers, that gets mixed in with the Plot Boost application as well. And I can't believe the results that we've been getting out of that.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like I said, it's all the work now that really produces the results in the fall. So right now, anyone listening to HUNTR Podcast can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, for 15% off any of the products at deergrow.com.
Better food plots, bigger deer. Johnny, you're still after him in PA then. Are you like next week thinking getting ready to rip a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going
or-
to do a little bit of Ohio here tomorrow, Saturday. Then probably if I'm not liking what I'm seeing, I'll head up to Northern PA and stay there next week.
next week.
Next week looks good.
I'm not loving the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't.
Before that rain front?
Yeah. I think your pressure's going like this.
I think
temperature's going like this.
Friday still looks good though.
Does it?
Yeah, temperature wise, at least, like it's still like at least in our area, it's like
I think we need
30.
I think we need precip. That's what we need.
34 in the morning, high in the 50s, something like that.
Tomorrow-
Going mornings?
Yeah.
You are.
Tomorrow's
I
the
would.
coldest
I mean, I'm
morning.
not now, but
Sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of tapped
what I
out
mean.
now,
You were.
dude.
I was planning on it. If I didn't shoot one last night, I was gonna leave my stuff in the same tree and go in there and hunt it in the mornings. It was gonna be a little bit risky.
I mean, just drop me a pin.
But if I got in,
Is it still in there?
I pulled it.
But just leave your set in there. It's fine.
So
I'll bring my own ropes.
here's my thought on the mornings, even like stuff with feed there. If you get in there early enough, they don't give a shit. Like,
Yep.
You get in there 2 hours before it breaks light, you can walk up and slap
walk
on
right-
the ass with your white headlamp on, and they don't.
You don't worry about your thermals.
Yeah, but
definitely.
yeah, you definitely got to. But I mean, as far as like
If the wind's right and
like,
stuff.
I mean,
So you're going super early. That's your
this
always.
time of year.
This time of year.
Yes. When it comes down to the rut, no. But like in October, if I'm gonna hunt a morning, that's what I'm doing. When I killed my opening day deer in 2021, I went in there super early.
Like how early?
In the morning? Like I was set up an hour and a half before light broke.
Okay.
And just being there. Now my setup was pretty foolproof because I was sitting over a stream, so my thermals are just falling down there. I was expecting the deer to come from the oaks that were up on this hill, come down through this bottom, head to where I thought they were bedding at, and that was my play. And I was like, if I follow this creek up, I'm not, wafting scent everywhere. Obviously, you don't want to like my access to where I went into last night for the morning, I wouldn't walk through that main open oak grove to get there. I would do the other access I talked about where I'd come from the bottom, do a big loop around, and come up the drain through the hemlocks and pop up in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem, though, sometimes I run into when I think about hunting in the morning and getting early, I do like doing that, but you have the thermals pull, and then at daylight they change. So you're like, I need to have a spot that's for both, which doesn't always happen.
And it depends on the slope too. Like if like where I was at, that is kind of a problem because it's it was kind of south facing on that slope, so it's going to get sun earlier versus you're on a north slope. You might have till 11 a.m. Yeah, 11 a.m.
Can I ask your guys' opinion on like a certain setup here? So, what do you think about setting up on the head of a ditch? This would be more farm country, which I know you guys don't hunt a ton of, but it's relevant for any.
It's relevant for the big woods too.
Any bottom, anytime you get a creek there. So I've got some sets that are on. Let's say, for instance, I mean, literally they are, but hypothetically, they're on the northern end of a ditch that has a creek running through it, and the creek is running from north to south. Mm-hmm. Okay, so. In theory, from a prevailing wind standpoint, you'd hunt that on a southerly wind, blowing up into the pasture, away from the bulk of the timber. But in the evening, the thermals are going to pull down and with the creek.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're right on the creek, maybe you want to be below. If they're crossing at the head, you want to be on the low side of it. It'll start pulling.
So you'd play the
maybe?
Thermals in that situation.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
and endorse it with a north wind.
Yep.
See, but that's not great because they're crossing the
creek. You
creek.
can still do it with
a south wind.
If it's soft enough.
Yeah.
Like it's not less than 5 mile per hour wind that last hour of daylight. It's
if they're going to start moving that last.
So you're going to play the thermal. Just disregard the prevailing wind. You're going to play the thermal.
If they're going to only move the last 40 minutes, then you let your wind blow south and then the thermals pull it and just.
Well, the does are going to move at 4:30, and then the buck's going to come the last half hour of daylight.
Yeah. Well, then.
So do you only hunt in the mornings? Then is the question on a southerly wind?
It's hard to answer.
That is.
That's what I think.
Is the south wind bad?
No.
Can you?
No, that's better. That's what you want for that spot.
Blowing toward the pasture, and then if you're right over the creek, I mean.
Yeah, and it all depends. So up until I guess now it's it's not as cool of a statistic because the last couple bucks haven't been with this situation. It was 3 of my 5 last bucks I shot in PA. Now it's 3 of 7, but that I'd shot sitting directly over a creek where the prevailing wind was blowing the opposite direction of what the wind was doing where I was setting up.
Right.
I was crawling up over that body of water. And even if it's like a small spring seep that you might have to be closer, you might have to be lower in the tree to get that thermal
sometimes
pull,
you don't want to get up that high.
To get that thermal pull for all day or longer, whatever it might be. But if you have a bigger body of water and it's colder, well, you have more thermal pull. I don't know the science to it. I can't tell you if it's 10 foot wide and 3 foot deep that's going to make a difference. But
I don't think it matters. Do you think it's even water or is it just purely elevation change?
I think it is. I think water does.
Or even just low spots. I know the one place in Ohio I had, it's just a north slope and so the creek ran out of the east, and so the thermals in the evening were pulling at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, down the slope.
Yeah, it wasn't straight down to the creek, so it was like this. But there was a little ditch, and I had my stand above that ditch, and I actually laid in that ditch to till the last 40 minutes because you drop your milkweed, it just drops to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last 40 minutes, I would get up in a tree because he could actually, where he was coming from, he could drop down and smell you. But if you laid in that ditch long enough, and you might just get up for 20 minutes in a tree, but it'll just lay in a low ditch. It'll just like your thermals will just go
Stay over top of it.
Yeah, I've seen that. Just ditches will hold that scent, or just won't have any.
So what do you think about that? The opposite, is that a huntable spot? Like in the morning. So when the thermals are rising, are they going to go opposite?
Yeah, but the thermals aren't going to. I guess it depends on what time in the morning. First light, so that would be
when they start to rise.
That's a southerly slope a little bit, right? Would that be
east and west?
East and west slope.
Falling in like this.
Okay, but you said that ditch runs north to south, right?
Yep.
But so that kind of comes south as far as like the running of where the ditch would run.
North to south.
Yeah. Okay. So, I would think that, it's probably gonna get sunlight and their surrounding areas will change earlier, but I think you still have a couple hours in the morning. Like if you're hunting like
just
first
because
light,
it's shaded in on that, and nothing's gonna really start
that's
rising.
When the sun comes out, it doesn't just like automatically change.
Sure.
It takes a little bit of time, from my experience, and I don't know the spot exactly, so I could be completely wrong. But that's the way I think of it, because everyone always says thermals rise in the morning, but there's so many spots that I'm in, it doesn't rise for hours after that, and if you set up for just that rising thermal at first light. And that's why a lot of my rut spots that'll go in, especially if I've been wearing myself out, I'll sleep in a little bit, hike in, after it's daylight, and so that I'm getting the right wind that's going through there.
Mm. Yeah.
Especially like a ditch crossing. And I know you're talking about farm country, but it's very similar even in the big woods, in the mountains, when you have a ditch that's coming up that top end of it, it's like that's going to funnel them, either whether deer coming up along the sides of it or coming across the top or whatever is creating that funnel. If I'm going to hunt that, I look at that as a travel area, not necessarily strictly bedding when it comes to the rut. So I don't care to be there 2 hours before the light at that point.
It's
I'm
travel.
talking rut. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to go in there and sleep in a little bit. Maybe I might make some bacon and eggs.
Now you're talking.
I'll shower first so my hair don't smell like bacon, Johnny.
Right.
Good.
And
before
then,
bacon.
And then go in and hunt it from like a
I would play the
standpoint.
thermals pulling and the wind blowing, and if they're crossing perpendicular, you're good.
Yeah.
If you're up high enough and you got enough of a breeze, like you could.
I'm having a little bit of trouble.
I've never hunted the
picturing it.
spot, which is why it's fun.
You should just try it.
It's a ditch. I'm gonna try it at some point, and I love the idea of just like testing them out.
Sure.
And just the milkweed's gonna tell you. You'll find out pretty quick. But man, there's other spots where I've been blown. Because guys think they fall in the evening. But not really. Not till the last
sun goes down.
Sun goes behind the hills. Yeah.
When you're walking in, they're rising. So like I've had there's one spot in particular that's like it's an awesome spot. And the prevailing wind says, north or northwest is when you should probably hunt that. Every single time when you get to the bottom of it's like a ditch, you have to walk up this big hill, and it's all good until you get to the bottom of the ditch. And then you're like, there's no wind here. And then you start climbing the hill, and then you start feeling it at your back. It's just sucking right up to where you're going, and you're like, that's not good. So all you can hope it's like at the top it's blowing the other way, but
sometimes it is.
What it's doing is this,
Yeah.
because there's another hill behind it, and so that prevailing wind is coming over. Thermals are rising. I've got a big flat. We call it the Scary Oak Flat, and all it ever does is this, just a big dryer cycle. And to this day, I haven't figured out how to hunt it.
I mean, a lot of times, 80-90% of the time, you're going to get a flyer of a wind. I don't care if you play thermals.
Yeah.
I try to be scent free as possible because you can't.
Do you do?
As much as
Not early season like now, like up till now. I'm just playing in the evenings the thermals, or if I only hunted like one morning, and whether it's thermal or wind, I'm playing. But when I get into being serious here next week, I'll
You go hard on scent control.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you doing?
Definitely get in the shower.
What's the plus?
I definitely get in the shower.
Scent-free shower, like right before I go out.
What do you like? You like scent away, or what do you like?
Just
like the green stuff?
I used the green stuff
whatever,
for a
just
lot of
whatever's on
years.
sale. That's what I do.
Yeah, the old Walmart
I
special.
love it because I've been using it for like
the
20
green
years,
stuff,
that green
the hunter
shit.
specialties.
Hunter specialty.
Mm-hmm.
I've used that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like that's what we all use.
I have the red and yellow bottle. It looks like flames.
Ooh, that's
It's the dead
Whitetail
down,
Research.
maybe whitetail.
but I also
Yeah,
put a like
Dead Downwind's orange.
okay, I have a. Oh no, yeah, I have the dead downwind. Then yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
had the other stuff, but I have a pump bottle, the dead downwind, and the shower.
I
I'll
kinda-
definitely put a hood or a mask on.
I kind
too.
of like the old just clumpy green.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm like, oh
It's
yeah.
been too many years that I've
Oh,
used
yeah.
that. Yeah.
My wife comes into the
check this
shower.
out.
She's like,
Get-
"What the
get-
hell is this
Yeah,
stuff?" everywhere?"
slime.
That is,
give that a smell.
yeah. This is more cover than it is clean, but it's
You'll like us.
yeah. You can smell it though.
It's out of Ohio.
Oh yeah.
It's
Isn't that nice?
It is.
It's got a really
Oh,
nice.
I
A little
love-
bit of earth scent
So
to it.
I put
Yeah,
I
like
put
a
the
cedar.
earth,
I
wafers.
used to
still
use
in
that.
all my bag
Yeah.
of clothes.
Yeah.
I've been doing that since I was a kid, and I
You
The
know
old
I-
wafers.
Oh, yeah,
dude,
dude.
you're gonna like that.
You know why I
Love
quit
it.
doing that is because I think I put so many of them. It was so powerful. Those are like
They do
Yeah,
have
they-
activated charcoal on those too.
Oh, wow.
Which is nice.
Here's what sold me on this. That's a
Oh,
lotion.
Yeah.
Think about when your face gets dry on that stuff.
I thought you were gonna say something else, but
Little
yeah.
Well,
motion
yeah, I mean that too. But
Think about when you get real lonely in a tree, you know, earth scented, you know.
I was like, wow, there's so much missing out of here.
It's like it's October 16th. There's a lot to go.
Do you
Yeah.
mind if I borrow that bottle?
it's empty.
Dude, I like this stuff
Then
a
he's
lot.
got the carabiner. You can just slap it on him when he's ready.
It's only 2
Nah.
days.
Scent armor.
No,
That's
and
good stuff.
they make a good laundry detergent too.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been using their stuff here recently.
But I do like next
They
week
got a
I'll
bar soap too if you're one of those.
get serious. Like
Yeah.
you got to.
yeah,
I like bars.
Especially if it gets
That's what I said.
colder.
It's for you.
I feel like being clean is extremely important.
Mustache, give it
you're,
away.
You're a face mask guy too.
Yeah, I definitely
Gotta have a
I got
bar.
a scent lock mask, but I don't know if it really works. But I feel like I know your breath is where their scent
I
comes
know.
from.
A
If you can
huge
catch
amount.
it,
No chance that works.
I mean, but
you
I
think
feel
going
like
through your breath going through the mask is like filtering the smell?
I don't know. I feel like it's catching something to some degree. You know, I'd say it's better than just
Sure.
breathing out into the open.
Yeah.
Something's getting
Okay, I'll give you
But
that.
maybe it'll just kind of like say
You chew
your
gum?
breath is 100%, maybe 60 of it's leaving.
You chew like a gum?
Yeah, I do like
Some
a
kind of gum?
mint. Yeah, sometimes. But and then I feel like I can really pull one over when the weather's cold because you're really bundled up. You're not sweating. You have that mask on, and there's times, they're downwind and they don't smell you.
Well, see, I think a lot of times, like when the weather is cold, like that's like a an observation error in a lot of cases. Not in yours necessarily, but my dad is always like, "It's cold," you know. But in reality, it's a high pressure day. Like thermals are rising like throughout the day, and so when thermals are rising, they're not going to smell you.
Not all cold days. Though,
I mean, I've
Not all cold days.
Yeah, I've had deer go
A
downwind.
good portion of the good hunting days though
Cold,
are
sunny
rising
days.
thermals.
I had good bucks go downwind to me. They saw me or heard me and never smelled me.
Is there
Yep.
is there any facts to like scent not traveling as much when it's super cold like that?
No,
I don't know.
no, no,
You don't think so?
no.
Like isn't it like with dogs, like warm and moist is the best way for them to
Definitely
spray?
moist, I think, is better, but it's still there. I think drier, like when it's
Yeah.
drier out, it's harder to
I think
smell. But
humidity, precipitation,
But nothing
carries-
temperature oriented?
I don't think there's any
Not that
actual
I've heard.
studies on that, but I see what you're saying. Maybe.
I don't know.
Hey,
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
Talking about scent, like, do you guys, when you're putting your cameras out, do you get a lot of deer smell in your camera, and what do you do? Or
I get bears that are immediately on my freaking camera,
I do-
which is how I know I
do
left
the,
scent behind.
The Ben Rising special. I take grass and stuff and I rub it on my cameras.
Okay,
Yeah, I get bears immediately
don't-
on my
they don't really
camera
mess
if
with them.
okay.
if I left scent there, for sure.
I know the other day that's what I did. I pulled some grass and dirt and I
Just
put it
rub them.
on my hand
Rub it
and
on.
that.
I will say this: if you get any kind of corn, like I know you can't in PA, but other states, if you get corn dust on your cameras, freaking coons will take them off the tree,
Oh, is that
bury
right?
them. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've had deer, like, especially in the summertime when I'm running cameras, I'm not too scent conscious. I'm sweating. I'll wear rubber gloves, but then you take your cameras home, you handle them with your hands and stuff like that.
It's like impossible.
There's scent on it, but I've found that lately the deer that actually smell that camera, they just I've learned that they just avoid that tree or that spot. They're still living there. It's like it's not like they move the whole country. They're just like they don't like the smell.
It
and they
is
don't
why I
go to
like
that
the cell
tree.
camera though, because like there's cameras I have in the woods that solar or something I haven't touched in years.
Yeah.
Like they're just sitting on the tree. I assume at some point they're just part of nature out there.
Yeah,
That is
mine,
honestly one benefit to private land or land that you have continual access to is like the longer you leave it there, the more you know they grow up with it, kind of a thing. So I've got
that makes sense.
I've
too.
got
I
cameras
thought
that have been
about
in
that.
trees. Maybe not the same camera. Maybe I've changed the camera, but it's been in there for 5-6 years.
Yep.
Those deer have never known anything different. It's just that's where
Exactly,
it is.
and I thought that years ago when cameras got popular, and I'm like, these were spikes and yearlings when their mom brought us buy these cameras, and it's still there, and it never bothered them.
Yeah, never bother 'em.
You know that is interesting because like I had some cameras this year that deer picked up on, especially mature bucks, and like looked right at the camera and never got a picture of them again. But there's other ones that I have at eye level with them, but I've literally had a camera on that tree for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
That
It's just part of the damn tree.
yeah, they're just like they don't even pay attention to it. They'll walk by, they might give a little lick, like, hey, what's up?
Nothing,
and
no.
they don't think
Yeah.
anything of it.
I know the one camera has like a red light, and some of them are black,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if they see that up in a tree.
I feel like they have to see that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
if we
know.
can
At
see that
nighttime,
red light
yeah.
go off.
especially at night when I'm checking, I see
I
that red light.
gotta tell you, I meant to mention earlier, we were kind of talking about, the mature bucks doing different things and stuff, but cameras especially, dude, one thing that's been a big deal for me is like those 360 cameras. It's stealth cameras makes the ones that we're using, but it's a have you seen these?
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah,
360, so it's like a 360 degrees all the way around it. It's like, dude, you can put those in like a food source or in some sort of an area where it's like you're wanting to survey an area, and it's like it's pretty kind of mind blowing to see. You get more of a full. It's literally 360 degrees, so you kind of have a full picture of what's happening there. So it's like, yeah, doe might be like food plots is where they're super helpful, especially if there's like multiple access points. It's like, yeah, maybe there's a clump of does over here or whatever, but I've seen like the mature buck will come out of this corner and just walk up the edge of it, and then like turn around and go down and go back or whatever, and you're like, gotcha.
Did they tell you the direction it's facing, or when your picture comes in,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell.
I came from the north. I mean,
Yeah.
without just like knowing the area that.
Yeah, you can program it in
Good.
there.
Man, it's
Interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
So those are kind of as far as camera advancements, that's kind of a big deal.
I've used some of those on saddles just because you can set them to only be like 180 degrees or whatever you want. So like instead of just having like this smaller view on like a big saddle, I'll widen it out. So like if they're cutting like the low edge, like on, the leeward side or something, instead of coming up over,
Yep.
you can still pick them up. It'll trigger that.
That's interesting.
Because all of a sudden you'll be like, wow, like 4 bucks came down here and none of them came up over the.
Think about like on your oak flats or whatever you guys are, even on public. It's like there's some areas where those could be.
Oh, yeah.
Which direction is he coming from? All
right.
I know is I see him walk into the scrape. Typically that's all you have is like his butt is on the right, his head is on the left. But
Yeah, and we all go by that. Look, he come from the left. He's got to be over there. But
Yeah.
he could have just did some
Did a
crazy
circle
shit.
right around, yeah.
And you're thinking,
Just Jay hooked it.
Yeah, you watch how any of those deer work when you're actually in a tree. It's like a little bit this way, a little bit that way.
Yeah, there's no straight lines.
No, not typically.
No.
and they're rarely I rarely find them bigger deer using doe trails. Deer, like it's
It's
they
coming
don't
through.
fuck with them, man. They don't like walking on deer trails.
so Johnny, are you going to make it out of state at all this year?
Oh yeah,
Ohio mainly. Or?
Ohio. I got a Maryland tag, PA. I bought a West Virginia tag, and we're going to North Dakota.
You are.
Bill's
You in Bill's place?
cabin. Yeah, northeast. I love it out there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
There's a lot more timber. A lot of draws.
When are you doing that?
Gorgeous. We're going out the 10th or 9th of November.
Really? Peak rut.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I'll be tagged out here. So.
Calling the shot.
Tell you what, I've got a North Dakota tag. I thought about flying back.
Dude, it's awesome. I love it out there.
My buddy, do you know Luke? You know Psycho? Have you ever met him?
No, I don't think.
I got a hook you got.
I haven't met him yet, but you were with my buddy Tim.
Timbo.
Yeah.
Timbo Slice.
Is that what you call him?
Dude, Timbo's cool. Yeah, we were in the same camp this year. Yeah.
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 Well, yeah.
I made fun of him because it took so long to take his saddle down. I was like, "What are you doing, dude? Get out of the tree."
Yeah, I've elk hunted with Tim. I've bear hunted with
Yeah.
Tim. He's a good dude.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's cool. Anyways, Lucas shot a stud, like a
I saw that
Was that
picture.
when you were out in North Dakota?
I don't know what he was. We didn't put a tape on him, but he was like
He had to
big
be
deer.
like 60s.
160s probably.
Yeah.
Slammer, 50 yards, freaking. He's got an
Whoa.
old elite bow. Like that thing's got to be like a 2011 snow camo elite.
Nice.
Freaking bomber at 50 yards. He and I hung that stand the day before.
That's cool.
You know when you just, he killed that deer on private. And it's like you just read it and you're like, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And we just put we knew the day before we hung a stand and he's like, this deer's freaking toast.
That's cool. Yeah, I like it out there. It's actually rifle season when we're going.
Is it?
We're bow hunting. I shot mine last year.
It's
during
rifle season during that first part of November.
It starts on the 7th. So I shot mine last year with my bow during rifle season out there.
Okay.
It was awesome.
So North Dakota, you said Nebraska?
No, North Dakota, West Virginia, Maryland, Ohio.
Have you
everything
hunted
over
Maryland before?
east. We went down there this year for the first time, early September.
Yeah.
Put some
Dude,
cameras.
we know some guys that shoot some slammers.
Oh, there's big deer in Maryland.
early season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's big deer. It's pretty rugged down there south of here. It's probably not too far from here.
No, just over the line.
Yeah, so I'm even thinking about they have some inline hunts into December and stuff. So, yeah. Everything's within, from where I live in Pittsburgh. I mean, I'm doing a lot of hunting within 2-3 hours.
Yep.
3 or 4, 3 states. So I just stick with those.
Are you going to fly out to North Dakota when you
No,
go?
we'll drive.
You're driving.
Yeah, we drive.
Johnny doesn't
He's
fly.
going to
Don't fly.
Northeast. It's a little bit closer.
It's about 19. We drove out in
It's
September.
too far, man. Why?
I don't know.
Do you know how easy it is to fly with your bow?
Dude, I used to fly when I was younger, but I have so many nightmares about flying. Like, I don't know where they come from.
Are you hunting out of saddle now, or are you still tree stand? You are.
Saddle.
Okay. All right. So with the saddle, you know how easy it
That's
is
what
to
the
fly?
killers use.
Right. You can put everything in a bag.
I'm not flying.
You know what I do? So I have it's 50 pounds is your limit, right?
Yeah.
On a plane. I put my custom gear as my base of the 50-pound duffel.
Yeah.
So I've got it to a science of like what I can fly with. Actually, I was 1 pound over when I flew to North Dakota this year. And I walked up to the desk, and this lady was like having it. It was like 4:30 in the morning. This lady was already like having a day. I mean, she wasn't having it. And I put my bag on the scale or whatever, and it was like 51 pounds. And I was like, "Do you want me to try to like rearrange some stuff?" She's like, "I don't."
Rearrange.
She literally said, "I don't give a shit." She's like, "Just."
I've had when I went to Alaska, I had that where I was like over by like barely over a pound. They made me rearrange, and I'm trying to get, and I had everything. Apparently, my scale at home wasn't calibrated the same.
The calibration.
I had everything to like 49.6, 49, like right there, and it was like I was just over. I'm trying to. It was a mess.
Yeah. Well, I will say that's one benefit. It's the only one I can think of, actually. The only benefit to a saddle is it is lighter in a bag to fly.
I mean,
with.
what's your fall restraint?
If I was going to get one, it would be a Timber Ninja for sure.
But what do you use for a fall restraint?
Yeah, boy.
Like
It's a harness.
vest?
A harness?
Okay.
Yeah, I have a muddy harness.
Because I mean, even if I use a stand, I'm always using my saddle for my
Harness.
For your harness?
harness. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the difference is the saddle, it's off the front, and with a harness, it's off the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as you always have tension
I make my
on it.
tether long, and I just put it over my shoulder, and it comes
That's
right
not-
down to here.
Yeah.
What?
That's not the best way to use it. For
He's like, I just wrap it around.
I give it a wrap like this, and then one wrap like this.
But I
one wrap around my fifth leg, and
So if I fall, I make sure I'm dead and my nuts are gone.
I'm only gonna fall another foot. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's
You know what
not
I mean?
that bad.
I heard of a guy. My buddy called me that has a camp up by us. He's in his 60s, and they all go up there and hunting camp. And he called me the other day. He said, but they live like in Indiana, PA. He's like, you remember Kenner? I was like, yeah. He said, he died. You'll never guess how. What? He fell out of his stand the other day. Had his harness stepping on, and the cables broke. Phew, they found him 25 feet down, like never moved, dude.
With no harness.
Harness, but he didn't hook on till he stepped. I guess apparently he got on a stand, then he would hook on.
Was he an older guy?
60s.
dang,
Wow,
It's crazy. He's like, you remember Kenny? He's like, yeah, geez.
two.
He said he went to his
stand.
stands and jumped on them in early season. They were older stands, and he had put his harness and jump on them. But they went and found him. Police, everything showed up, and he 20, and he hunts pretty high, like 25, 30 feet, and he was laying there.
Oh my goodness, dude!
Dude,
30
that's
feet
crazy.
is
That's
like
a fall.
freaking skyscraper.
It's 3 stories.
I know.
That's a chunk.
The older I get, the lower I go. I don't know why. Like when I was younger, I remember bear hunting a guy up in like the tornado areas. I was up 40 feet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I was hungover too.
Yeah. Just climbing tree limbs up there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just your sticks, put them on, go
Yeah.
up, and I used to use a safety belt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just went around your waist.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I didn't wear a safety harness till I was probably
Yeah.
in college. They would come with one, and I didn't even know how to put it together. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Well, Johnny, you fell a couple years ago.
Yeah, I
You
was only
didn't-
like 15 feet, Bo. It was nothing. Well, that's when I got in the saddle.
The
and-
story from his camera guy was the best. 'Cause Johnny didn't even tell me it wasn't like an impact. in
He
his
landed
life.
on
He's
his
chasing
feet like
deer.
a cat.
He said,
Yeah.
Harry was like, I look up and all of a sudden I see, boom, Johnny's on the ground, just hits and gets up and then says something like, all right, get your stuff together, and then goes back up the tree. And what, you didn't have your stick actually strapped around. You grabbed
that
it.
was-
Fell backwards.
And
yeah, and that's kind of scary when
And-
you're going
and-
back.
and
I,
yeah.
I remember leaning forward, so my ass went back and my arms were going like this, and I remember scratching the
Just
bark.
trying to get any traction.
Well, and it's like we're joking about it, but it's not like, so my background, what I did before doing the podcast full time was safety. So all fall protection stuff, that was my background. That's what I went to school for. That's what I did. I'm very
Is that like
anal.
OSHA?
Yeah, but I was doing it
Falsha.
in the workplace, safety, environmental, and I was like, I always go to Johnny. I was like, Johnny, from the time your foot leaves the ground, make sure you're tied on.
Now I
just-
wait till I'm on the first step. Is that all right?
That's better.
But I do use the
Guess what happened to me?
Lineman.
The lineman.
First step.
Yeah, it did.
first step.
I don't think not being tied in wouldn't have made a difference, but that was
He
the
leaped.
first step. You know about this.
I don't know if
My
I.
wedding ring got caught on a tree stand.
Oh,
On a stick.
Yeah, I was hanging it. I hung the first stick. It was a Hawk traction stick, is what it was. It had little peaks and valleys like this.
Your ring got caught
Hung
on
the
that.
first one, hung the second one. Yeah, I was climbing down. It's just small enough to get under it like this, and I kind of leapt. I didn't have a harness, which is the only thing I did wrong. But again, I don't think it would have changed anything unless I was somehow snug and it would have prevented me from falling even 6 inches. But yeah, that's what did that.
Yeah, I don't think I
I didn't know that.
knew that either.
You knew that I was missing a finger, right?
Not until right now.
You didn't know that?
Wow.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
I tell
know
the story.
That's like the
as often as I
icebreaker we
can.
use.
Yeah, check it out.
Dude, that's really messed up.
Yeah, got caught. See a scar there. So that night that I went to the hospital and they just kind of coved it out, cleaned it out, stitched it up, and good to go.
Little degloving incident.
Forever in the shocker position.
Mm-hmm. The way to look at it.
Don't even have to fold it down.
You know what's funny is I don't notice it almost ever.
I never I
The only
looked at
time I
you
notice
like-
it is at the drive-through taking change. You have to put your left hand out,
yeah.
and the change just slips right
Yeah,
through. Yeah. One time at ATA a couple of years ago, they were giving out field points, free field points, and they're as many as you can grab. So I grab a big handful, and I come up and I look and I have 3. I'm like, oh, I lost my whole grip,
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
Dang, I didn't know that.
yeah. That was 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
First year married. That was I got married in May, ripped it off in October.
Jeez,
He called me and he was
it's
like,
something you don't
man.
ever think about either.
He's like,
No.
man, he's like, not a good day. And I was like, what happened? I was like, did you miss one? Or no, I ripped my finger off. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, I ripped my finger off. He's like, I gotta go to the hospital. And I was like,
Jeez.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
So be careful when you do finally get married.
Yeah.
Get you one of these guys here, that Groove Life. I
Yours
really
was-
like this one.
Yours was on the way, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was already clanking off my bow and off the stand and stuff. It was a tungsten ring, and it was maybe a half size too big. It was kind of annoying for hunting anyways. And so I had already ordered one of these, and I was sitting at home the day after, they took this off, and in the mail.
The
comes
mail
my-
showed up.
my
Oh
rubber
my!
Oh, you're just burn that son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah,
Mother-
great. You're a day late.
Day late, dollar short. That's how it works.
Yeah, but anyways, that's good. That's a good lesson.
It all was because one person wanted to go home early that day, and they're like, this package don't need to go out. We're
That's
good."
exactly it.
You wouldn't believe how many people, so when I tell that, everybody's like, oh, my so-and-so, my buddy or my
Yeah.
uncle or my brother.
Really?
Everybody's had some kind of run and catch close call with their ring. You know?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, those traction sticks, it was like shreds of metal just like sprinkled and then like coated on the top. So like they were just built for cutting. Frankly, if you like fell on your neck, I think it would cut your jugular.
Were those the Hawk helium sticks like that?
No, they were called Hawk traction sticks.
Okay, I wasn't.
And it looked like
with those.
the tops of the sticks looked like they were cut with like the serrated scissors. Like
okay,
they were like this.
Yeah, for like boot traction.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good for that, not for fingers.
Not for fingers.
Yeah.
They'll hold them.
Dang, I never even
Hold them tight.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna look at you the same.
HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Primos.
Dude, double bull blinds, the original doe can, and who could forget the iconic Magnum buck roar?
I mean, that in a nutshell is Primos for whitetail deer hunters. I mean, that buck roar is by far the best grunt call that's ever been made. I lost it in a CRP field in Kansas, somehow found it, and for the last 10 years, I've been notching every buck that I've called in with that call, and I can tell you there's a lot of marks on it.
Been a lot of them over the years, man. I can recall. So my dad actually shot that 160-inch 8-point in Ohio a couple years ago. It was double bull blind. I just set that up a few days before, and we've had a lot of success out of those over the years. And so right now, you can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, for a discount off anything on the Primos website. That's primos.com.
Speak the language. You going to West Virginia?
I don't know yet. Maybe now. I wasn't. Iowa's been kind of like my main focus, and like I
Dude,
don't.
you should go now, like to Iowa.
Yeah. What you think?
Not right now, but like sooner.
I know.
like
I know.
right now.
There is the tough part about like I am trying to do a film there, so I have someone hired for certain dates, so it makes it a little bit more difficult on that.
Who's going with you?
Rich Laurie.
Oh, yeah.
I
know Rich.
Yeah.
Who is that?
He's from
Somerset.
Somerset, not too far
Has he
from
done
here.
some other films that we would know or something?
No, he said he wanted a chance at learning how, so I had him
do you
edit
know?
He did some freelance stuff with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had him edit my recent Pennsylvania film that came out like a month ago called Undaunted, and I literally he had the worst
I watch
case
all your films, by the
scenario.
way. I know you know we do, but yeah, we watch them.
I didn't know you did.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
I know.
come on.
Yeah, I mean Jeremy texted me, but I didn't know you did.
Yeah.
And but Rich was like, "Hey, I wanted to do some stuff," and
Why don't you give me another one of those beers?
actually was talking about hiring him full time. And
You got to go to dinner with your wife after this, so just behave.
That's only my first Modelo.
Well, yeah, post bourbons.
so I was like, but anyways, I was looking at hiring Rich full time back at the beginning of the year, and it ended up not working out. And I was like, "Hey, you want to get some more experience in this stuff?" I was like, "I got a film for you." I said, "It's a mixture of very professional footage, mid-level footage, and me with my cell phone. See what you can do from 2 years worth of footage." And I just dumped it on him, and which was a tough project, and he crushed it.
I think he did a great job.
I thought he did a really good job putting it all together. So I was like, "You want to go to Iowa with me?" I was like, he can only be there for the first week that I'm there, because he's got a full-time job, so taking off of work, and so he's gonna go with me and film that. And,
Cool.
And so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, he does some good stuff.
He does. He's super talented.
Does he have his own like equipment? Like,
Yeah, he's got his own equipment.
yeah.
Yep.
So that does come and limit you then as far as days.
Yeah, and I mean, I can I can work around it. Like I can find someone else to come.
What's his face? Just shot a giant. He'll go with you.
Hunter Phelps.
Hunter Phelps.
Oh, I love Hunter.
Yeah, that
He's
was
a good dude.
that was in Illinois. That was a monster.
Got a freaking. Did you see that?
Oh
video
my,
he did?
that giant 8-point
Yeah.
with all the stickers on it.
Frickin'.
Yeah.
See if he's got some free time now.
Oh yeah, I have to get a hold of Hunter. He's the man. I love Hunter.
Yeah,
He's a good dude.
yeah, that's a giant.
Yeah. So there's a chance. Yeah. I'm also trying to. You guys are gonna laugh at me, but I'm trying to do a better job. With now my girlfriend moved in with me. So like,
We're not gonna laugh at you. I know where this is going.
like,
and
So
we're-
instead of 2 weeks in
Johnny's
Iowa,
gonna
it's
laugh at
really
you, but-
1 week. in Iowa.
No. But I
Giants,
made
like-
certain commitments. She has a professional career
I got
that
the
she's
tone
got
in
to
your voice
travel.
the other day, like you're needing to
She-
like.
no, she's traveling and stuff, and she's like, "Hey, are you gonna be home the last 3 days of October to take care of the pets? Not that I have to be there all day, but just that I can watch
let 'em
them, feed them, let them
Yeah,
out
yeah.
once a day,
What-
stuff
what-
like that."
what
And
kind
I
of
said,
pets?
"Yes, you can."
Just leave a
Dogs
bag
and
of
cats.
kibbles open.
Kind of pets.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs and cats.
How many?
2 dogs, 3 cats.
Mm-hmm.
So I went from a house of 1
3
to a house
cats.
of 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's great. I actually
What's
love
your
it.
mom do? She's retired, right?
No, she works.
She does.
You got any good boarding facilities nearby?
We do, but like I'm trying
Or pounds.
again.
Or
I'm
pounds.
trying,
There's a great pound I've heard of.
but I'm trying
For
I'm
the cats,
trying
I
to
mean,
listen.
the dogs are fine. Let them
I'm
out.
trying to learn balance because I've been living by
Ugh.
myself when we've been living like long distance for a while, and I'm like, all right, I need to eventually find some sort of so if I agree to do something,
That's
her
real
work
mature
and
of
stuff
you.
is just as important as what I'm doing. So like I said I was gonna be here because I thought I was gonna be in PA hunting. I'm gonna be there at least those dates. No matter what the weather conditions are or whatever, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll have time to hunt. So
Can you drive to New York?
I can drive to New York. So I got believe me, there's things I can do.
Yeah.
Are you guys working on something here? Like 5 years been a long time.
This ain't the time.
Yeah, fair enough.
No rush. That's all I'll say. No rush. We're
No
good.
rush?
We're
Yeah.
good.
Well, there's always somebody to let the pets out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the big deal if they go on the floor?
Yeah.
Just
No.
clean it
Yeah,
up.
what's the worst thing gonna happen? They're gonna
Nah.
shit everywhere?
That is what happens. They'll shit everywhere.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, would you rather be hunting?
No. Well, see,
I hate cleaning up dog shit too.
it's the worst. That's why you gotta let them
Ugh.
out.
I'm like,
That's why you gotta let them out. I know.
but
what
I mean, it's
about.
like November 29th or clean up a pile of dog shit.
No. We're
Your
talking.
mom,
We're
your mom
talking
still
about
works full time. I'm trying to think of like
Yeah.
nearby relatives. Though.
Yeah. There
I'm all about
are
solving problems
options,
here.
but there's the principle of like I said I was gonna do something.
Responsibility.
There's
and I'm
also the
trying
principle
to
of deer season.
There is,
So.
but I have time.
Okay.
I'll be good. I'll
Well, and you tagged out early here, so you do buy some time.
yeah. I was planning on hunting here. I was planning. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm sure.
Where's your girl going for these 3 days?
She's got a work trip somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if she's. Yeah. I don't know.
How
if
did that
she's
come up?
actually-
You're not going somewhere because of that?
Well, no, I was gonna be in PA anyway, so I was like, and I'm not really starting all day sits at that time, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll hunt in the morning, come back, let them out, spend a little time with them.
Who
yeah.
let the dogs out? Who?
Bo.
Bo.
You say all day sits. Are you planning on some all days? That's mainly Iowa.
In Iowa, yeah, I will. But like I was saying, like if I were still in PA and still had a tag at that time, I usually don't start all day sits till the last couple of days of October. And
Bo will just be podcasting.
You sit
petting
all
the
day
cat.
last couple days of October.
Oh yeah,
really?
yep. The weather's right. Yep.
Yeah. I think that 27th, 28th is really, really good.
Jeremy's never sat a whole day.
No, I don't do that very often. I mean, unless I get stuck in the tree, then I do. But
If he's
yeah.
hane there.
Yeah, but other than
I've
that, I
done
don't
it
do that
for
very
14 days straight, and I never want to do that again.
Ugh.
But like I,
No, that's nuts.
if there's one thing I've been gifted, it is patience and
Me
being
too.
able to sit.
Me
I can
too.
do it.
Yeah, not me.
We got that on this side of the table.
I mean, even if sometimes in an all day sit, sometimes I'll just get down and take a walk,
Yeah.
come back and get back up.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Drop
Kind
the
of
boot.
breaks.
I'm
it up.
always
Run-
thinking
run
like
to the river, hang
I'm
out
always
through it.
thinking what's gonna happen. I've shot more bucks at noon.
Oh, midday.
Yeah,
I
then-
wouldn't get out of a tree then.
Yeah. If I was gonna get out of
I
the
think the
tree,
morning's
it'd
the
be from
worst.
I'd get out between 1 and 3.
So what do you guys do?
What, in the tree?
Yeah. Like what do you do in the stand?
Just sit there.
Eat lunch. You eat.
Yeah,
Bo
but my
eats.
food's gone at like 9
Dude,
o'clock.
I bring so much food that
Yeah.
is I bring a whole gallon
Bro.
bag filled of food,
Yeah.
and I'm eating every hour.
You been hear something
throughout-
crazy, dude? Melissa Bachman, we just had her on.
Mm-hmm.
She sits all day for starting when and ending when?
Like now.
Mid-October through mid-December.
What?
She sits all day with a decoy every sit. And she kills freaking more big bucks
Yeah.
than any of us. Like 5 of them a year.
Yeah.
Dang.
Crazy.
Every single
Patience.
set she takes in a decoy
Yeah,
and sits all day.
Yeah. Wild.
that's wild.
She's confident about it too.
And that was her trick too. She said, "Eat, you just eat.
yeah.
Just bring food and eat
Yeah.
all
So
day."
just eat. Do you play on your phone?
If I have service, I play on my phone a little bit.
You listen to
but-
music?
No. I don't have AirPods or anything. I'm listening, but
Yeah, no, I'm totally in the game.
I can't. I will say.
But
I
what if
can't-
the game's
I
not
can't
playing?
Stay
Like, there's
alert.
nothing happening.
I can't stay alert from
Yeah.
that whole time. So like I have things where I allow myself like 1 to 3 if I can nap, do whatever. But it's like if I'm in the tree, I at least have a chance.
I don't think I do it enough. I'm not doing it 14 days to where I can stay all day and be focused on my hunt.
That's a long time.
That
14
is,
days.
Like
I
I mean,
that's
like
serious.
I'm talking probably 4 or 5 days a year. I'll do it.
What if he starts hitting like back to back? Like I don't see a deer. You do that? You keep,
Yeah, I still do it
do you move spots?
after 3 or 4 days, unless the wind's like completely not working for that spot. But yeah, usually I want to give a spot if I'm confident in it. I want to give it 3 or 4 days. Yeah. And stick it out, because just more times than not, I bounced around and it's like, oh, I'll go look at my trail camera, which is still only seeing 5% of what's happening in that area. I missed out on an opportunity, and I've just learned it. When I didn't know anything about deer hunting, I used to be really good. I'd take a week off of work and I'd sit for 7 days in one spot, and I was killing deer more than when I switched to being super mobile and during the rut and I was moving around all the time. I was chasing my own tail, and then I went back to my old style before I knew a whole lot, and then the success picked back up. Yep.
I think it's probably because I don't think I've ever killed a deer after 9 o'clock
Oh man.
and before, I don't know, 3:30.
I don't know if I've ever killed a deer before 9 o'clock. Even that opening day one was at 9 o'clock.
8:30 is where it's at, man. 8:30 is hot, and then it's like 12:30 is where it starts to pick back up. There is definitely a down period. Like they do lay down.
Sure.
Yeah.
They have to.
Well, when I looked at, I did 6 years of trail camera data. I plotted it all to do a podcast last year of just like, and I look at all the trail camera data, but I typically was only doing it for target bucks I was doing. But I charted all out from deer 2 years old and older, and then 4 years or older, and I put 2 separate charts. And 8 to 9 was, at all points of the season, was the best time for movement during the rut.
8:30.
That 11 to 1, 10 to 1 period picked back up. But that period, and then obviously last light. But like me personally, I've never had anything at first light that was like
Interesting.
I don't know. It could be a lot of like where I set up.
Yeah, it could be set up oriented.
And I'm sure a lot of that is that for anybody. You know, even when I was talking to the guy on the podcast that Derek Dixon that does the whitetail research, all the deer drone stuff, like what he was seeing, some stuff I was seeing a little bit differently, but it all really comes down to where are you sitting,
where are you sitting
on
and
that
seeing
travel path, you know? And that's I think there's a lot of nuance when it comes to like your analytics and what you're seeing because of where you're sitting.
I'm having like flashbacks to that pretty boy deer. There's a deer in Kansas that like was the first time that I witnessed with my own eyes. It was like 1 o'clock.
It's on public too.
1 o'clock, 1:15, something like that. This frickin' deer just like was just doing the thing. Like
170-inch deer.
it was, you know, like and it was like this. Well, I hadn't been sitting the spot for that long, you know. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe I should have been like more.
It's probably day 3 or 4.
I was young too, though. I mean, this was like
7 years ago.
7 years ago, you know. So, and I was dealing with target panic at the time. There was all kind of things I was trying to like figure out, but I found this spot, and I'm like, this is like X marks the spot. And I sat at that night, you know, the first night that I found it, and I was like, whatever, had like a decent set, didn't see anything crazy, but went back in the next morning, hunted it the full morning. Don't remember what I saw that morning. I just don't remember. But what I remember was around 10 o'clock, 10:30, I probably started to like let my guard down a little bit. And I was like, well, I'm in here because it's deep, you know. And it's like, I'd kayaked in this whole long way, you know, is how I was doing this. And it's about 10:30, probably like let my guard down and start eating my lunch, you know, and and I'm just like, I was actually on the phone with my wife at like 1 o'clock. So I was married at that point. So it was less than 9 years ago. And I was just checking in. I was like, hey, you know, what's going on? What are you up to? You know, oh, we're seeing this or that. And I freaking like look over my shoulder and I'm like, I got to go. And I just threw my phone down. It was I can remember it was plugged into my
charger,
my mobile, my box or whatever. I literally just said, I got to go. And I threw my phone down, and this sucker was trotting in hindsight, stud 4-year-old, stud Kansas 4-year-old.
Like 170
probably
inch
is
deer.
what it was. Yeah. Mid-60s. I don't know. Might have been one. He's tight racked, but just beautiful.
Freaking heavy.
Really nice, heavy 10-point. Like, what'd you dream of? Biggest deer I would have killed up until that point, you know? And here he comes trotting down this fence line of private. I'm at this intersection of private, public, and conservancy that can't be hunted. I'm like right in the crux of it. And the only way to get to it is this long kayak ride. And this sucker comes down and just jumps the fence freaking 20 yards from me. Was this you or was that earlier? He was telling me about the missing it at 30 yards, missing at 20 yards.
I know that was Zach.
That was this morning. Sorry, missing conversations. But he jumps the fence and he's freaking 20 yards from me. I think he's 30 yards. And I shoot through the top of his scapula. I just wasn't ready, and it's just like 1 o'clock, and I was just like, it's your dream situation. He's 20 yards, like just the most beautiful middle of Kansas, like third week in November. Like it was just, and it was the deer I was in there for, And I just like, from that point on, I was like, I will never leave a tree stand. Like 1 o'clock is where it's at.
You're right. Yep. I shot mine last year at 10-1. I look back, Pete's got his hat off. He's like, Pete, here he comes.
He was just, and honestly, that encounter had me change it allowed me to think more like how they do a little bit. I think I was like, okay, so he obviously was preoccupied with something in the morning, whether he was with a doe or he was like, had come off and he was just bedded up for a period of time. And then that time of year, what was the date? November
17th, 18th.
17th, 18th. He's got to go find one. He's he's only going to stay bedded for so long.
That's when I shot mine 17th last year.
Yeah. Yep. And he got up and he freaking was running a line. Like he was cruising. There was no doe with him. He was just not cruising. He knew he was intentional.
Yeah, it was on purpose.
He was on purpose. He went down this fence line. He jumped and I read it. I picked the spot perfect. And I just wasn't ready for him at the time that he was going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
haunted me forever.
I mean, you guys said you watched the Undaunted film, so you saw that big, non-typical that when my bow was on the ground.
Yeah.
That's the scenario of like, okay, I was like, I'm gonna climb down 11:30, and then a little bit of rain came in. I'm like, I'll get down, 10 minutes early, pack up. Here he comes out, and it's just like, and that was October 29th. It's like, dang, like
this deer right here. Opening day of season, I was hunting him, and I got a picture of him on my cell camera or whatever. And he was in another food plot like 500 yards away, and I was like, well, picked the wrong one. It's like he was going to go to one of two food plots is how I felt about it. And so I get these pictures, I'm like, I picked the wrong one. And these does are freaking blowing at me all over and stuff, and I'm like, just not having a good hunt. And I'm like, I might as well get out of here. I get down about like 10 minutes earlier than I would have. I get to the base of the tree, and I take a step out into the food plot, and I look to the left, and that freaking sucker is standing right there at like 25 yards. He had made it. He had covered all that ground, came across this big saddle, standing right there. And I think didn't know what I was, like whatever, however that went down type of a thing. And then I ended up killing him the next night at the other food plot. But
dang.
I always tell myself,
had I stayed in the tree, I might have killed him. I don't know.
Like I always when I'm in a tree, I give myself an exact time that I'm getting down. I'm going to get down at 1 o'clock and it'll be like 12:40, 12. I'm like, no, I'm staying to 1 because I make a plan after it. Like, so if you're getting down on a deer, I said I was going to, because I've done it to where you get down at 12:53 and like, whew, shit, there's my deer. So I'll stay till then. I don't feel too bad. Like, no, I already had a plan.
Isn't it crazy how many times, like, it seems like they don't, it just goes wrong at exactly the wrong time. Like, you're like, oh, I'm just going to check my phone real quick. And that's like exactly when I see you.
Like I told my camera, I said, there's a deer. Oh, shit, it saw me. It was like 50 yards away. I was like, and I don't know why, I just like, there's a deer. Like, and I pointed like this, and it just looked, and I'm like, motherfucker, are you?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I tell myself, move slow, but I'm like, I was like tapping him, like,
yeah.
And then just like looked at me.
You wonder some of those that they're just how long they've actually been there.
Yeah.
Like when you're just not sure, and like whether they caught something and they're just like holding up or waiting.
You're zoning out a little bit. Yeah. You're looking. It always happens when you're not paying attention to like, and I always feel like it's me. Like he might look and be like, oh wow, Beau's having a great season. You look at like the inside of all of it, it's like the amount of mistakes and things that happen. It's just like
every year.
Every year it's like these. It's
I messed that up. I fucked that up.
Yeah,
it happens all the time. Like, why do I do this. This ain't my first day.
No.
Yeah, but sometimes those lessons, it's just like I feel like I have to relearn.
And I
them
write
over
stuff
and
down
over
too
again.
when I go in the journal on Spartan Forge. Like I'll write, like if I hunt somewhere for 3 days, and after them 3 days, I'll write, shouldn't have moved at this time. You know better. Like I'll write shit down to like maybe help me.
Yeah.
So I can
well, I
read
mean,
it
historical
again.
data kills a lot of deer
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's just understanding what they do. Like I'm, whatever it is, it's 16th right now. Like I know within the next 2 or 3 days, there'll be a 5-year-old plus buck that shows up behind my house on 20 acres here. Just every year it happens. Like in this window, may not be in daylight, but he shows up for the first time, and then I'm like, okay, do I want to kill that one or do I want to hunt the mountain ones?
Well, it's like my main target deer that I was going to hunt this year, completely different area than the one I killed him in, the one that I killed yesterday. But he shows up October 15th every year. He had not showed up yet, but I believe in the next few days he's going to show up and hit the scrape, and then he stays there throughout the season. It's like, because I was talking to some other people, and they're like, oh, you find that big 10 that you were hunting? I'm like, no. Like, oh, you going somewhere else? I'm like, no, he'll show up. Like,
He'll be there.
I'll hunt other areas until, like, I'm not, like, set, like, that's the only deer I'm going to hunt. But, like, once he shows up, that's the deer that I'm going after. He will show up. It's just like,
Wonder if you know a guy who needs a spot. I mean
and Johnny's been in there.
Johnny.
Johnny helped me with the opportunity I had last year. He's got to pee again. Jeez.
HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Bushnell.
Man, what an iconic brand. I mean, I vividly remember growing up, it seemed like every serious deer hunter had a Bushnell pair of binoculars or a Bushnell rifle scope. You knew that those guys were serious about what they were about to go with if they were packing the Bushnell stuff.
No doubt, man. I remember bone collector guys and so many others that we've respected over the years. It's always been like your grandpa's rifle scope. And since then, obviously, they've developed so many great products. We're rocking the R series of binoculars this year. I believe it's the R5, 10 by 42s. Those have been awesome. We took those to TAC a couple weeks ago, along with the broadhead rangefinder. It's got a ton of technology packed into it for angles and and for bow hunters ultimately. So that's been awesome.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things, we've talked about this with a lot of the brands we're working for, is we want high quality gear that's affordable. And that's exactly what Bushnell's trying to position here. They want to make really good gear that anyone that's serious about deer hunting can afford. And so most of those R5 series binos that we're talking about are under $300 for unbelievable class.
No doubt. And so for right now, you can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, to get a discount on the Bushnell website. That's bushnell.com.
So now what do you do? You got 2 weeks.
I don't really yet. I haven't really put a whole lot of thought to it. I'm gonna watch the weather.
Call Josh down in Untamed and be like, what's that?
And I have a lease in West Virginia.
Throw in the bow hunt county.
Yep. So and actually there's like zero cell service everywhere except for on the very top. And I did have, and my buddy who's on there with me, he's gonna go hunt it tomorrow morning, but a big deer showed up. I mean, he's not like score wise, he's an 8-point, but dude, he's like a 6-year-old, just like mammoth, wide, kind of short time, but like super cool deer. He's been showing up, so I think he's gonna hunt it tomorrow. But I thought about going down there.
SD cards on the rest of them?
Yeah, I got SD cards on the rest of them. He's actually gonna check them tomorrow.
There's gonna be something else.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
yeah. Those counties can be. It can be hit or miss as far as with deer. I'd find just as big a deer here, to be honest, in Pennsylvania. But except for like the top level, there'll just be like some weird mystical 170, 180 that can show up out anywhere, even higher than that, where I feel like I don't see much of that.
I've got a dude. My wife and I are like in a small group with our church and stuff. There's this dude that hunts down in West Virginia. He showed me some pictures of some legit 200s. Like he's like, yeah, look at this deer I saw in this like field the other day.
It's probably in the bow hunting counties.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
I wonder if it's near like Charleston.
They're
or
like,
something.
there's a couple mega giants.
Dude,
I'm like freaking what?
This is so.
There are in West Virginia. Besides the bow hunting, I was down there with a guy hunting last year for a double drop, big.
Yeah,
up in the
this
mountains.
is my opinion that just about any state right now, even on the East Coast, can produce giant deer. May not be as many as like in Iowa or Kansas or something, but like the age class and stuff are growing.
Yeah, because it's harder to hunt
those
those areas, and guys just don't want to hunt like they used to.
I think you could go anywhere you put enough time, and you can pull out a pretty sizable.
I helped a guy this
deer.
year, E-Scout, in New Jersey.
You have the internet?
I do. I borrow bows.
You don't even have a laptop.
I talk to him on my phone.
Yeah.
Dial up.
No, I think you can, man. I mean,
Yeah,
the amount of
there's
bucks
big
that are
deer out.
getting age on them in the East that traditionally didn't, just because it was a lot of hunters and they hunted hard.
There's not nearly as many hunters, I believe, in the East Coast.
And they're not
there's a lot of
hunting as
people
hard as they
traveling.
used to.
I think there's a lot more people traveling and going to places, which creates more pressure in a lot of these spots. But I think, and obviously access, I'm not going to go down that whole
Sure.
rabbit hole. But I believe a lot of the places on the East Coast and mountains, stuff like that, like there's not nearly as many hunters as there was 20 years ago
No.
going in those places.
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, think about the areas that you guys hunt here in
Oh, yeah.
Pennsylvania. There's not nearly as many people coming from down here in Pittsburgh up to there to like hunt during the gun seasons, especially.
No,
No, you have,
and
you have
then-
the bow hunters, but the gun hunters are dropping off.
Yeah, and even in bow hunting, like unless you're putting a significant amount of time into scouting and hunting, like it's tough to be successful. So people might do it for a year or two, and then they're like, I'm gonna go here, go somewhere else, and so it makes it different.
Stay close to Pittsburgh, and there's deer all over the place.
Yeah.
That's what
The
their
guys
thought
are killing
process
some
is.
giants in the hills of Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Oh,
my,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's slammers. Yeah.
No, and one thing I wanted to say, we were talking a little bit back about, and I know you got to go, so I'll wrap it up. But like about wind, and I want to hear your curiosity. Or I want to hear your guys' opinion. I'll speak mine first, but about when it comes to the rut, like I want to have the wind in my favor, but even like on these all day sits, there's many times throughout that day that wind's not doing the thing that I want to, and I'm not gonna move, and I feel like, especially younger guys or inexperienced people that are coming into this and hunting are always like, everybody talks about you gotta have wind thermals, everything right. But it's like, you're hunting a spot that you're not hunting a deer that you're thinking he's laying right there that's coming through. Man, there's so many times during the day that the wind's not doing what I need it to. And I'm just like, I'm going to have an encounter for 10 seconds and I need to close that deal. I need to be right for that moment.
I think personally there's a level, it's like it's tied to maturity in a way that it's like in your early adulthood, it's easy to be like anxious about things and want to like get ahead, or like, you know, I did anyways. I got really, I can remember sits that I just were like, I was like, the whole time I was like, the wind is like this, the wind is, and it would just ruin my hunt, honestly.
Yeah.
And honestly, it took, you know, maybe there's some age and experience on it, but also hunting with people that like weren't as worried about that helped open my eyes to be like, maybe I don't need to be as worried about controlling every single thing. And on the other side of that is it's a more enjoyable hunt where you're like, I'm going to make the best decision I can with the information I have. And I know that it's going to be variable or things may change. And I'm just going to hope for the best. And that's all you can do. You know, you want to still make smart decisions. I mean, I think the extreme end of that is guys in their 50s, 60s seem to get to a point where they're just like, fuck it. Like,
just go.
You know, they're just gonna do what they're gonna do. You know, there seems to be no regard for any.
It's a 50
And it works
mile
for
per
them.
hour wind on flat ground this direction. Screw it. That's where the deer's
You
going.
never know. Thermals are rising. You know, it's the morning. So, but somewhere in between is probably a healthy balance where you make smart decisions with the info you have, but you can't control it all either. So you just got to enjoy the hunt.
Yeah, I think.
It's definitely one time that it's easy to get in that mind frame, like you said. Even nowadays, oh man, I didn't get in perfectly, I blew a deer, the wind's going that way. It's easy to ruin your hunt when really it ain't that bad. So I always sit there and say, hey, what are the positives? Yeah, this deer's been coming through, I got him on camera. Yeah, the wind blew this way or that way a little bit, but I don't know exactly where he is. But it's easy you could talk yourself right out of
And
a
dude,
hunt.
there's so many positives.
Yeah.
I mean, if you slow it down, you're like, it's freaking October 17th. Like, I've waited all year for this, and I'm climbing a tree stand, and it's 53 degrees, and it's frost, or it's whatever, you know, is going on there. You know, it's like there's always
a chance.
some positive, like you can
Optimistic.
pull out of
Look
deer.
at the positive
Dude,
side.
that's the beauty of deer season, is like it really is just a ride, and so you try to slow it down as much as we can.
Especially when you get older, it's like, man.
Yeah.
And I think with the all day sits, it's easier for me because I'm like, hey, this is only a day in 365 days. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I waited all year for this.
And even with like my sewer line project going, which I mean, it's a massive deal. It's going to cost me tens of thousands of dollars type of thing. Even with that going on, it's like I'll find a way to like put that where it needs to be, and I'll be able to escape for some days and be able to get in the woods. And every part of that, it's almost like in the midst of like turmoil, and it's like it puts it in perspective that like, hey, I only still get so many deer seasons.
Yep.
And whether I'm seeing deer or not or whatever, it's like this coming weekend I've got Corey coming in, and it's like he and I get 3, 4, 6 days at max, a year to get to hunt together, and it's on our farm. And so it's like I'm gonna do it every opportunity I get, and I'm gonna maximize the opportunity, and we're gonna enjoy it. And you only get so many opportunities to enjoy deer season.
Yeah, just try to stay optimistic because it's easy to talk. That's why I said it's easy to talk yourself right out of the hunt. Everything went wrong, but what went right?
It's easy to overlook the successes too, dude. The first frickin' 3 or 4 sits of deer season this year, I had shooters. Like first sit, I shot a 196. After my neighbor shot it.
Yeah.
So he got it. But second sit, I filmed my uncle shoot a 6-year-old, mid-40s buck, like the deer we've been after a couple of years. Third sit, I saw another like mid-50s, 10-point, like 5-year-old deer. And then I maybe hunted one other time since then, and I saw a 3-year-old or something like that. But I'm like, dude, the times that I've hunted here so far, I'm like, so far, my read on the weather and like where to be and stuff so far has been like
spot on.
So I'm like, man, it's just, I've had an early success, so far. And so now I'm like, and it hasn't even really started. Like we're just now about to ramp into the best part of season.
Yeah.
It's common, dude. It is common.
Jared, when are you going to the big woods? When are you coming up with me and Beau to hunt?
Dude, you know what? It's been calling my name for a couple of, I really think.
Is it really? Is it?
Well, not the big woods so much, but Pennsylvania in general.
Yeah.
You know what I would love to do is I want for Jeremy and I to find and be able to buy a piece of property in like Washington or Greene County.
Yeah.
Like we're close to us here, somewhere nearby that we can like get an age structure. It's like, so it's going to have to be a piece of old coal ground or, something like that. That's fairly affordable, but is neighbored by big properties and stuff. So it's like, there's enough that we can get some kind of an age structure. That I think is really appealing to me. If we can find that and do that.
How about just going up in the big woods? That's not really appealing like what we do. Like, well, I'm just,
the problem is it's the same distance, if not further from me than my farm in Ohio. And like, I don't tag out in Ohio every year. So it's not like, it's like if I'm going to drive 2 hours, I'm going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if I can find somewhere within an hour here that we can grow mid-40s
so
deer.
Like you like growing deer. Like, I mean, you like the farming and all that stuff.
I do.
That's what, and I know like just having my food plot in the backyard of my camp, that's all it is. But I'm like, I like this.
Yeah,
farming,
that's
cool. But it is totally like a different. Yeah, I do like going out in the vast and
whether I'm growing them or not, I like manipulating the habitat to get them to use a property in a certain way. And
there's two really different feelings of like the creating a farm and habitat and watching bucks grow, which I love and I do. But like here, I love finding the buck.
Yes,
like
on his
just
own scheme.
Covering ground, dropping a camera, nothing there, move the camera, go over here. Oh, yep, there's one, right? And just finding them. And then the cool thing about that is like, because I don't control that property like we do on a lot of the other ones, then I'm like, as long as I know he's there, then I'm like, okay, just hunt him. Like, what's the weather doing? What's the terrain look like? Where would I hunt him at? Right? I don't even, like, I've got one camera covering 1,000 acres. I just know that he's in this block. I don't know what he's doing. But then I can kind of zone in, and so
you can keep moving. Whereas, like us,
the barriers of
property lines is difficult, and like,
it is.
but I see the appeal to both. Like, at some point, I do want to own a property that I can manage. And I think that would be fun. I think I would be interested in that. But I'd love now of like just being able to walk
just
anywhere, go and find a deer and then try to figure out where he's at. I'm not constrained by anything. Like it's just going and doing it. And to
That's
me,
a
like,
big
that's
thing.
so much fun.
Well, and so I get it. I get that, and I get to do it. Like when we go to North Dakota in September and stuff, there's no manipulation. It's 100% wild.
Yep.
And I really enjoy that. And so I just soak it up while I'm there, and I get to bring it back here, which is super cool because I look at my farm totally differently. It's like, it's almost makes it more, I'm like, oh, trails, tracks, like things like on a managed farm that you almost disregard. You're like,
yeah, that woodsmanship aspect to
yeah,
it.
because the reality is it's not as important. I mean, if you can develop a farm, so that they use it in a certain way, it becomes more about point A, point B, and like transition zones and
access,
and it's easier to hunt. That's the point. You're developing it to be that way
to make it easier to hunt.
You're developing it to be that way, so that I can access it this way and do this, and they'll do that, and it does become that way over time. And so, but it's fun to be able to have both. So, like when we go to North Dakota, that's what it is. When we go to Kansas, even though we're hunting with an outfitter this year, I have a sense that the outfitter is very much like, okay, this tree stand is on this feeder, and we're gonna probably be like, let me see the map.
Now
we're going to go to here.
After you have a farm for so many years and you manipulate it and make it how you want it, does it get old then? Or do you want a new farm? Restart
you
over?
Probably at a certain point you want new or more farms. I've been hunting our home farm in Ohio for 8 years now, 8-9 years.
Everything changes every year too. Whether it's the deer
every
that
year,
comes in and
I
goes,
learn
neighbors.
so much, and I'm just like, oh, like these deer are doing, and then the problem is it's impossible to have the perfect vision for a property like out of the gate. So you start making improvements, what you think are improvements, and then you learn
with the deer maybe
they
how
actually do this.
what
So
they like
and
to
I
do.
need to reverse how I did this and change this and that, and like,
and then it's
so
still
I'm not there
5
yet.
or 6 years to get a mature buck.
Yeah.
Right. So like even if you buy it, like my place in Southern Ohio, this is year 4 that I'll have it. This is the 4th hunting season I have it, and I've got some really good 4-year-olds. I've got one that I think 6, and I've got another new one that showed up. I don't know how old it is, but he's big. And so like those 4-year-olds, I'm trying to get to 1 more year. So I'm like trying not to hunt them, even though they're super visible, and then narrow in on the other one. So like even next year, barring they all don't die, like then it's like I finally have reached to where now I got to figure out how to kill them at 5, right? I could probably go kill them right now at 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything better than getting a 6, 7, 8-year-old deer to do what you designed a farm to do.
Yeah.
We haven't been that far yet. Lukowski, is on the far end of that pinnacle, and along with some other guys. And apparently, that does get old, right? Because they're looking for other things, but it's like it never is like out of your blood completely. It's like that, dude. That's what I'm here to do.
There is a similar compliment, which is if you find him on his own ground and you set up, and then he does what you thought he was gonna do. Then it's a similar feeling because you're like, there he is. Whoa, he's gonna do this thing. So yeah, I mean that's the 2 pieces. So
I need to wrap here. Do you
okay.
guys? You guys?
No, we're good. We'll wrap.
You sure?
Yeah, we'll wrap.
We're out.
We'll wrap.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
we could easily go for 4.
Yeah,
like
people know
another
it.
2.5
People
hour.
know it. So, anyways, we appreciate everyone listening to episode 282. I don't
That's
remember.
what you said. Yep.
Yep. Thanks for keeping me. Beau Martonik keeping me on track. Johnny Stewart keeping us on track, and we're gonna catch you guys next time.
This has been great, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
I really appreciate
Yeah.
you guys being here.
Yeah. Thank you. This is fun getting to come down here. Appreciate it.
That's because you're tagged out.
Yeah. He's got a little less on his shoulders.
He was letting you guys feel it. Well, I mean, it's going to be a cold front.
I know the feeling. It's a good feeling. We'll be there soon.
Yeah.
Later.
Take me